Man, you're listening to the All Burgundy and Go Errrything Commanders post-game show, powered by the Urban Sports Scene and Fox Sports Radio 96.9 FM and 1340 AM. Hopewell, Virginia. On Sunday Night Football, the Washington Commanders got belt to you-know-what by the Seattle Seahawks, 38-14. Yeah. I'm Wole, and I'm joined by my guys, George and Glen. What is good, fellas?
You saying that makes me think this wasn't that kind of beating. This was go out to the yard and pick your switch kind of beating. That's what this was tonight.
It was. You picked your own switch. Facts. Yeah, but before we talk thoroughly about this game, we got to knock out some logistics. Hey, subscribe to our podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and other podcast platforms. Just search All Burgundy and Go Errrything. Also, tweet us at ABG_Errrything. Hit us up on IG and TikTok at ABG_Errrything. Make sure you subscribe to our All Burgundy and Go Errrything YouTube channel. If you're in the YouTube chat, we accept super chats. Super chats help us support our show. Each super chat will be prioritized over all comments in the chat. Hit that red subscribe button, y'all. Also like this video right now. Once you like it, it does well for our Commanders, for the Commanders YouTube algorithm. So make sure you hit that like button off the rip. And also, our post game is being streamed on the Urban Sports Scene X handle as well. I'm angry, but I'm gonna be nice though. I'm being like there's a lot of fireable offense. Yeah, a lot of things are happening right now. Yeah, and folks that know Jayden got hurt his arm. His left arm, with like 4 minutes, was like 4 or 5 minutes left in the game.
No, 7
minutes. Sorry, 7 minutes left in the game.
7 minutes left in the game.
Game was like 38-7. You know, it is what it is. I'm not
mad at that.
Well, go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm not mad at. I know everybody wants a fireable offense. I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at the fact that he was still in the football game. I'm gonna tell you why. Because you got a guy who hadn't had any reps. You got a guy who had, even though the game's out of contention, you want him to get into the groove. Yeah, this game is out of this game is out of hand, but you want him to get in the groove. You want him because he didn't play a preseason. Let's be honest, didn't play a preseason at all. Hadn't played consecutive games in a minute. Tonight, it was getting mollywopped, but you wanted him to be consistent. You wanted to get in the groove. Wanted to get some kind of thing going on with him. So again, football injuries happen. It could happen on the first play of the game. Right, could happen on the second play of the game. How could happen on the third play of the game? So it doesn't matter. The injury, injury is what it is. People say, "Oh, he shouldn't have been in the game." I don't agree with that because again, as an offensive coach, you want consistency. You want him to get in the groove somehow, get back in where football things need to be in shape, or football plays or cohesiveness. Yeah, the game was out of hand. The season, we understand. Man. People can say what they want, but at the same time, I think. And we play an armchair quarterback, right? Second string quarterback, because you look at it, if he doesn't get hurt and he's everybody's fine. Ooh, Jayden Daniels for the touchdown.
So that's the problem. See, I'm not that person. I was like, I'm not saying I was like, I'm just gonna be honest with you. I was like, why is he in the game before he got hurt? Like I was like, I'm consistent. I don't like look at when I think when a game is out of. You're right. There's certain games or seasons. I think there's part in the season when your season is over. Yeah, you should be still playing. Like this, the way this season's going, season's about to be over anyway. So yeah, I would say he needs the reps. He should play. No, there's no way, because a lot of people you just shut him down. Like, nah, he should play the rest of the season. But when there's a game that's out of hand, there is no competitive advantage because teams are playing. It's not like that team. In real talk, it's not like that team is playing hard anyway. It's 38-7. The way that defense is playing is pretty much not giving them certain plays. You're not really playing a real defensive game. Real talk. You're not playing that same defense that you saw in the first quarter. 38-7. I'm just saying, this is what I'm saying. I'm just saying, when you're getting blown out in that part of the game, we see it in all football. Typically, for any team, when you're 38-7, most times, if your starter is good, your starter is being benched. And not benched, and I'm not saying benched, but they're saying, you know what? You don't need to play this game. And this is any team. They decided to have him out there. Now he got, to your point, he decided. Sometimes I'm like, this is my thing. You got to protect the player from themselves. I said this about in 2012. Somebody mentioned in 2012, the Shanahans didn't protect Griffin from himself. In a play like this, in a position like this dude just came back from an injury. And it ain't like he healthy. He just came back from an injury. Glenn, you said it before the what's the name? Before the we started, you said he probably ain't 100%, right?
Yeah.
So typically, if a player is not 100% and you're getting beat 38-7, if he's not 100%, would you play him throughout the whole game?
It's not like he wasn't showing. Let's be honest. In this point, yes, I'm gonna tell you why I would. Right? He wasn't. It's not his hamstring. He wasn't showing signs of hamstring. He was still running the football. He was still throwing the football. Right? They just got the mollywopped. It wasn't the fact that Lane dropped the pass. I mean, lost the fumble, and Seattle went down the field. It wasn't his fault that the Seattle the Washington secondary couldn't stop anybody. Right? So yeah, the game is out there. So he was playing the best he could be, his best. To best of his ability. Yes, he's a competitor. He's a competitor. He was going to compete in this game. And my point is this: he was going to compete exactly where he was going to compete at. So there's no excuses of why he was still in the football game. Again, to your point, he probably still wanted to be in the game. And let's be honest,
I know he did.
Seattle still had Sam Darnold in the game until Jayden got hurt.
He's still in the game, but they're just handing the ball off. He's not really been that aggressive.
But he's still in the game.
But he's not a mobile quarterback. This is my thing. If I'm telling you to hand the ball off, this is the thing. They're different quarterbacks. That's one. One is built to do the read option, which he did get hurt on the read option. The other one's a pocket passer. And then the game is out of doubt when you're just running. You're literally handing the ball off to Kenneth Walker. That's when they were up 38-7. It's as safe as it can be. We're handing it off on the screen passes and whatnot. We're gonna be as safe as we can be.
But anything.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. You saying Darnold. I'm just giving you the difference between Darnold and Jayden. They're not asking Jayden to do. They're not asking Darnold to do the read option and put him in harm's way.
But everybody said take him out at the half.
I want him at half. I want him at half.
Paul, I'm not taking him out at the half. You want consistency. The guy has not played, right? The guy has not played. So you're going to take him out at the half, even though you already know you're going to be 3-6. So that's like saying, okay, they play in Detroit next week. We don't play them against Detroit.
I'm not taking him out in a half. I'm telling you the fourth quarter.
So again,
fourth quarter.
There's no excuses to it. Everybody want to blame the coaching staff for it, but in that situation, you play. If he gets hurt in the first half, right? Let's say he took a couple hits in the first half, in the first quarter. That you were like, oh dang, Jayden running the ball. So one of those plays, if Jayden would have got hurt on one of those plays, is your conversation still the same?
What are you talking about?
Are you saying any play? Because he took off in the first half. His first
I'm not saying that either.
His first couple passes.
That's not what I'm saying.
Then he dropped back. He got hit.
I agree.
He ran
I'm not arguing that. I'm saying like that's in the midst of the game though. You're talking like that. That's two separate things. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the fourth quarter when it's 38-7, 7 minutes left. Why are you in the game? No, real talk. Like, why are you in the game?
He wanted to finish the drive, man. If you're a football player, you're competitive. You want to finish the drive. It is a sport where you, as a player, you want to. Let's see, he was running for the end zone. You want to finish the drive. That might have been his last drive. We don't know this. That could have been his last drive. He scores. Boom. They take him out. We done. Right?
I'm not getting you, but I'm saying this. I'm gonna go back and see how consistent I am. George, you remember the preseason game?
Mm-hmm.
When Jayden ran that for the touchdown? Mm-hmm. What did I say?
You were not very happy because he was caught. He took a hit and he didn't need to take a hit.
Very consistent, buddy. Same thing that happened. Very consistent. All I'm saying is this. All I'm saying is that even if he had scored a touchdown in that situation, I would have said the same thing. But this is the thing. There is no reason for me. I'm not here to like that's your opinion. That's cool. I'm not down. I'm saying for me, there is no reason in a 38-7 game where you're not like you're a coach. If I want to get reps as in anything, basketball, whatever, I want people to play their hardest, play at the highest level. You're not seeing the same defense you saw in the first half. We know they're playing prevent. They're not worried about that. Then the intensity. They already booked games over to them. All right. We talk about dummy stats. Well, don't we always talk about that? Dummy stats.
Okay.
That's what dummy stats were. That's what they were, dummy stats.
Okay. Here's my argument. Argument to this. Nobody's tripping over Terry from last week because the game was over too. Terry was over. Where
was Terry over? That game wasn't over at that play. That play was still in. They were only down a touchdown. They were down when he got hurt. 2 touchdowns. 38-7 and 20.
Two touchdowns to the Kansas City Chiefs when your offense isn't moving.
No. 38. Listen to me. You got the ball to midfield. You got the ball, and when he called that pass, they got into a situation where they can make it 14-21. You're telling me 38-7 and 21 and 20 and 38, a possible 38-14. to a 21-14 is comparable?
Well, comparable is the injury. So we're blaming we're blaming the injury on the coaching staff because he shouldn't have been in the game anyway.
I'm saying, like, for this situation, I said he shouldn't have been in the game. I would have took him out in the fourth. That's how I would have carried it. Okay. Like, because I would have took him out in the fourth. I'm with you. I'm not taking him out in half because you don't know what could happen. Maybe Mikey had an interception, so there's plays that can happen. Like, I'm not going to even play it off like you don't know what can happen. So I would not take him out after the half. That to me, we've seen weird things happen in the NFL. Shoot, we saw some today for real. Yeah. So all I'm saying is, like, but when you're telling me 38-7 in the fourth quarter, and you could tell the Washington didn't believe they were going to win. So if you're not trying to win a football game, I don't need you out there. That's, to me, like, it's all about winning a football game. You know what I mean? You want to be revved up. You want to be revved up to compete. One team in Seattle is like, we already got this in the bag. And the other team is just like, all right. And you could tell Washington was already dejected anyway in the game. So it just wasn't that type of game to me. I don't know. I mean, that's just me. But in terms
of the game was out of hand. Let me say the game. I'm not disagreeing that the game was out of hand. I'm not disagreeing that the game wasn't over. My point is that you want the person who. My point in all this is this: you want the person who has not been playing to be more consistent, to get a feel for the game, get the reps for the game. Not that he should. None of that. Another stuff. The game was out of hand, but he has not played in weeks. So you want the consistency to be there. You want him to get the reps in the field. That's all I'm saying.
No, I get you saying. Hey, well, let's go back to the game. Let's go back to the actual game. I'm starting with you, George. We talked about this injury thing for a long time. But
we got a super chat, so can we do that?
Oh, we did. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, DC Slim. Appreciate you, my guy. The coaches need number 5 to say their career. Career. I called. You did, and you did call it. And me and Paul, I was talking.
Yes, indeed. Like, you sure did, Torrey Horton.
You did.
And I will say,
should bet that one.
I was like, we should have drafted him instead of Lane. That's where I'm at right now. So George, your overall thoughts on the game, bro? Because I got some.
Oh gosh. Well, let me just say this. I don't want to. I'm not going to wade into your excellent back and forth about Jayden being in or not, because I feel it would be hypocritical for me to criticize what I've been saying. Jayden needs to play because he needs reps. Yeah, I can see the arguments either way. That's going to be the story, but I don't want it to be the story because it's deflecting from what really needs to be talked about. And that is, this coaching staff has done an absolutely awful job. Yeah. They have once again we are seeing the same players out there not producing. And I just, this team didn't look ready to play. The defense looked like it gave up in the first half. Mm-hmm. I mean, Sam Darnold has been a really good quarterback since last year, but there's no way in the world Sam Darnold should be 16 for 16 for 250 or whatever it was. 282. Thank you. 17
in a row.
4 touchdowns. I think he had 4 touchdowns in the first half.
3.
Just buried me in a fantasy league, which is another reason I'm angry. But here's where it gets. Here's why I'm gonna take most of my fire on the coaches, because what were we talking about before the game? The need to use the different running backs, not maximizing the talent. We watch Merritt start off the game, and he gets a few carries, and he's struggling. And we don't see Chris Rodriguez until what? 21-0, 28-0, whatever it is. Mm-hmm. And he actually had some good runs. Timothy Park, that's a fair point about they have no one else up. Yes, they do. They do have other people to put out there. And if it's worse, so what? So what if it's worse? Look at what we saw in the first half. There isn't much bottom to that. But forget the defense. This offensive coordinator will not help this quarterback out, will not protect this quarterback from himself, if you want to allude to what happened at the end of the game, will not maximize his talent. Why are we still playing Zach Ertz? I have had enough of it with him. I have had enough of him catching the ball and going down immediately. I've had enough of that. And you know what? I can understand not putting Jalen Lane in there after what happened to him on the kickoff return. And of course, Luke gets hurt on the opening kickoff return. But I'm sorry, Cliff can go. He could go tonight. He can go at the end of the season. I don't care. Get him out of here. And I'll say this about Dan Quinn. And and hopefully this will be the only time I mention Joe Witt tonight. If Dan Quinn wants to prove that he's not just a one-season wonder, which he essentially might be at two different franchises, he will go to Joe Witt tonight and say, "You're out of here." Because if he doesn't do that, then we're not. Then you can. Then as sure as I'm sitting here right now with you guys, he will get fired after next year. Because you're not going to fire him at the end of this season. You're not going to. You shouldn't. No. But if he really has grown as a coach, and he's really involved even a little, he will go to Joe Witt and say, "I'm sorry, I got to let you go tonight." Because you can't have a first half like that and not have somebody pay the price. I don't care that it's reactionary. I don't care that you could almost say it's performative because it won't change anything. And I agree with that. It won't change anything. But that first half was such a disgrace. Both sides of the ball. This team wasn't ready to play. And honestly, if this was year 3 or 4, Dan Quinn might even be out of here tonight. But you can't do it because of last year and how great last year was. But Dan Quinn, it's time to step up and be a man. I don't care that Joe Witt's your guy. Joe Witt should be walking the plank tonight.
All right, so now I'm at this place right now, right? Where I'm like Jayden's regressed, and I don't blame Jayden. It's almost to a point where I'm at now, like George, when you said this before, I was like, I want to keep the continuity together and stuff like that. I'm like kind of over it now because I'm thinking I feel like Cliff's offense and what it is, and I'm not saying it's a bad offense, but what it is, it has a certain level and it has a certain peak. And then once that peak is done, teams will counter it. And it's like, all right, it's not bad, but it ain't great. It's like, it's just gets you to a certain level. It's almost real, honestly, it's very similar to Roman, how Greg Roman and Lamar Jackson and how they were you're here, but to get you to another level, we gotta open things up. You know what I mean? And now you see where Lamar Jackson is as a passer in the NFL. I'm at a point now, I'm like that with Cliff. I think, and you kind of saw it, and I don't want to because I do like Cliff, but you kind of saw a little bit with Kyler Murray, right? Had a great start to his career, and then all of a sudden, and we all blame Kyler. I'm not saying Kyler wasn't at fault because Kyler is kind of aloof at times. But I mean, maybe Cliff was a part of that. You know what I mean? I think it's fair to now come with that assumption because now looking at it. I just think to your point and to everybody in here, I just think Jayden's too good to be struck. And I know Seattle has a great defense, but even going before that, before he got hurt against the Cowboys, he was struggling to move the football. And I'm not saying that you have to, obviously, you need to have your guns out there, but I just think of Jayden at a different level as a quarterback where he can make people around him kind of better. You know what I'm saying? Even the receiver position. Not to say they're going to be all world, but he can make you look decent. I believe. I think he has that ability. So I just think now where he's at, and somebody said, yeah, he can't. You can tell he doesn't trust the receivers. He doesn't trust the receivers or whatever. But I think that you may have to bring somebody else in there, for real, to help him take him to the next level. Because there are guys, I had people who would chat me this, that, and the other talking about Jayden's gonna have to trust his receivers, let these other guys kind of get some work. But I honestly think that it may be a time where we got to open it up as a, in terms of running more NFL style stuff for Jayden, and getting a guy who could be more conducive to that. Because again, Cliff, I mean, it's a nice offense, but it's still a college-based offense. It's a college-based offense, but in today it's spread. It's a spread offense, but it's got a lot of what you see in college. And I think the mixture isn't what I would like to see for Jayden. We barely see Jayden under center. There's a lot of stuff. He's always in shotgun. He runs the ball a lot. And we're talking about a guy that we've seen throw the football at an accurate, highly throw the football and be highly accurate at throwing the football. Yeah, he ain't in college. So yeah, man, Cliff has regressed. I agree with everybody in here, man. So I'm at a point right now. If you called me a few last week or week before, I would have been like, nah, man, keep the same, nah. But now I'm thinking like maybe like it wouldn't be bad for Jayden. And Jayden also is like and George, you said this, and I agree with you now. Like Jayden is mature enough that I believe to kind of handle that. And if he did struggle, I'm cool with it. I think in the long run it would make him a better quarterback.
I want to say just to beg the differ just a little bit, right? And probably differ a lot of people in chat. How can a person, if he Jayden regress is because he didn't get the reps that he had, right? If he regressed, it's because he's not playing. It's not because he's not talented. Tonight, if you watch the game, if anybody watched the game, there was nobody open, right? Let's be honest. There was no
people in the game telling me something different, though. But go ahead, though.
No, that's me watching. When you watch downfield and you go back and watch, there really was nobody open.
I'm saying people at the game. I'm saying people at the game. If you ask some folks at the game, it's something totally different. That's all I'm saying.
But people at the game, somebody's always going to say, "Oh, it's open." You already know what kind of quarterback you have, right? We have a quarterback who's not going to put the ball in harm's way.
That's true,
right? So we may physically think they're open. In his eyes, from his view, that's harm's way. So I'm not going to throw the interception. The same way he was last year, right? Yeah. The complaint last year was he held onto the ball a little bit too long. And that's why he wasn't hitting Terry, because he didn't want to put the ball in harm's way, right? So here it is. He doesn't want to put the ball in harm's way. So here it is with Jayden. And again, you're playing with no-name receivers. And I don't want to hear people say, "Oh, Baker Mayfield," and all those guys. That's a totally different situation down in Tampa, right?
Different offensive coordinator too.
They're totally different offensive coordinator too, right? So that's different. The offensive coordinator here, the defense here, and I'm not blaming injury because again, it's the next man up. But let's be honest, this team never had depth. We said it in the preseason. Yeah. We said it in the preseason that this team did not have depth and they couldn't afford any injuries. So guess what? This team has injuries and we don't have the depth. And it's something we tell our team all the time. And ain't nobody coming, right? Yeah. There's nobody coming. Nobody's coming to save this team. But they knew this going into it that we didn't. We talked about this in the draft last year. They need to get depth at this position, this position, this position. All right, they didn't get it. So it didn't happen. There was some spotlights tonight. Jordan McGee had some plays tonight. We saw Jordan McGee make some good plays. But again, back to Jayden. Has Cliff regressed? I can't regress as a offensive play caller when you don't have all your weapons. And I know what people are saying, right? If that's the case, the offensive line coach regressed because Jayden didn't have a lot of time. And that's not on Cliff Kingsbury, right? The offensive line tonight didn't give him time. So can we say, let's say every coach on the coaching staff has regressed, not just the offensive coordinator? Because the O-line coach with the people that you have, he regressed as well.
As a totality of the season, because the totality of the season, to be fair,
they're not opening up. To be fair, they're not opening up rushing lanes. Like let's be fair. We said let's say rushing is not just on the running back. Rushing is also on the O lineman. Right?
I agree. I'm saying if you're talking about all right. So where they were top in the before Cliff decided not to run the football. They weren't they in the top. They weren't there in the top 5 in rushing.
But you got to look at the team. Look at the teams that you played.
Oh no! Saying that we could say that last year though, because we had a weaker seat. That everybody said we had a weaker schedule last year.
But look at the defenses that you played. But y'all point today was, and Candy's point today was in the pregame that the Seattle defense is the number one defense, top defense against the run. Yeah, so we didn't expect. If you expected the Washington Commanders to come in this game and have a good rushing game, you're not watching football.
No, I wasn't.
I didn't expect them to have a good running game tonight. I expect that defense to be tough and that defense to be there. Hey, yo, ain't no excuses, bro. I don't make excuses. I'm not like Ike told Tina. I ain't got no excuses to the man going to jail. We all know this team. We all know this team is a bad football team. That's not excuses. It's stating facts. If I make an excuse, prove to me what I said is wrong. And I'll tell you it's an excuse. Prove to me anything that I've said that is wrong.
Mm-hmm. No, I'm just saying, like, for me, I feel like I'm gonna be fairly objective. I'm gonna be fair. I feel the O-line's the O-line. I feel like O-line's straight. I don't know issue with the O-line. I think the run game ain't bad. I think the run game, they don't run the ball enough. The passing situation is not the same like last year. So that's a regression to me. You want to say the receiver? You want to say receivers? There's regression in receivers. There's different core, but I'm just talking about as simplistic as dropping the football. There's a regression there. Lucas gotten better, so I'm gonna give Lucas flowers, but there's a regression there. With everybody else, not Luke. We go on defense, obviously there's regression everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Special teams has been great. So if anything was an uptick was the special teams, because I felt like as a unit, they've been good. They've been really good, to be real with you. So other than that, that's where I'm gonna say it that way. But in terms of the all around being prepared on Sundays, especially definitely on prime time, that's a regression too for the coaches, because they're not getting these guys ready. That when we can see it, like these big games that we've seen, like to get beat the way they got beat today, early. It was an eye opener to me. Like it really put everything in perspective to me of where this team really is. And you're right, Glenn, when you say like this team wasn't deep, but that's also, if we're gonna like put everybody in it, we got to put the general manager, we got to put Adam Peters in it.
He gets the smoke too.
Yeah, because this what he put together, I don't care what it is, what he put together was trash. Because to be to a point where you felt that comfortable with your draft selections over the limited or what you did some good moves trading for pieces like Tunsil and Debo, but to think that was going to be good enough and not to work around that with free agency and get legitimate players that can help your team rather than getting older vets just as fill-in players. And I'm gonna be real, you were just getting fill-in players and thinking that was going to work. Like everybody talks about, oh man, we need to have Dietrich Wise and folks. Look, man, I ain't gonna lie to y'all, man. Dietrich Wise is a good player. He's a very good player. But Dietrich Wise ain't saving this. I don't care what anybody tells. He ain't saving this. Y'all, man, I was like, some of y'all making it seem like Dietrich Wise is freaking not you, Glen, but I feel like mentioned like he freaking like he Micah Parsons or something. Now he ain't saving this. Like he ain't saving this. Armstrong was having a really good year, but his sacks were still giving up. His sacks were great, but they were still scoring on them sacks. Them sacks was good, but they were still scoring. Last time I checked, teams were still moving the football, scoring against us when he was out there. So like the defense as a whole, everything, offense, whatever, like that, something needs to be fixed because this team is putrid. Like I know it now. Like I'm not even. It's putrid. This ain't nothing. This ain't nothing good or whatever. The only thing good you got out of it was you was going to get out of it, to what Glen's point, but then he got hurt. Was all right. Let's kind of grow and get Jayden used to this whole NFL season, because and get him geared up. That's the only thing good that was gonna come out of this, for real. And Jayden ain't out there. I don't know. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. We gonna be on here because we gotta do it for the show. We gotta do it for the folks. But it's gonna be hard to be watching these games from y'all. Real talk. Hope Jayden gets better soon, but y'all still think Jayden is better than Caleb because he's injury prone.
I answer that for real quick because Ariel Cologne, you've been posting that. I'll just say this: you can come back to me about Caleb Williams being better than Jayden when he wins 2 playoff games on the road and gets to a championship game. Otherwise, tunnel on off, Bears fans. You tried to blew a 14-point lead in 3 minutes in the fourth quarter and almost lost today. And
I'm gonna tell you something else too.
As sorry as Washington is, you only beat us by 1 point. So this is my
point. This is my thing. And I told Paul this. It's a fan base. We need to stop talking about other teams and other players, bro.
Yeah.
We need to be worried about our own. Let me be real.
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep that all the way 100. Where everybody keep talking, I be looking at when I look on my X and I see people like clocking other players. They clocking Chicago, they clocking Caleb because whatever. They clocking all these other. The only team you need to be clocking is you need to be, if anything, if it's a race, is you're in the playoffs or your division is a clock of the teams ahead of you that you need to pass. Mm-hmm. I don't need this this clocking on online about this team or that team, because that's not even that does nothing for us at the moment. We need to stop. We need to be worried about our own. We got problems here, buddy. We got problems here. Worry about here first. Worry about here first. Yeah, DC Slum. Yeah, worry about the coaching. I'm here with you. Worried about the coaching and worry about the personnel here, because this is a problem, man. Like, and what I'm saying and why I'm there, because I personally have watched. Like, I've seen teams who've been hurt and teams who have lost star players and still been able to kind of be afloat or whatever. I've watched, I've seen it. I've seen the New England Patriots lose Tom Brady and go with Garoppolo and win a bunch of football games. I've seen the New England Patriots do it with Jacoby Brissett when they lost Tom Brady and win a bunch of football games. So I know when you cultivate an environment, you're able to like build something and win games consistently once you cultivate that particular environment. So I've seen it. I've seen next man mentality work. Mac Jones is winning games out there in San Francisco, who everyone thought he was done. They thought he was trash. Mac Jones is winning games. So I'm like, that's all I'm saying. Like, I get it. I understand. People get hurt. People get hurt all the time. What separates you as a coordinator, head coach, or whatever is when we talk about next man up, you really got that next man prepared to be up. Like, you really have it. A lot of people say next man up, but sometimes your coaching staff don't have that next man prepared to really do what he need to do, or your GM didn't get you the right next man to really help be up. You know what I mean? So that's where I'm at. Like, nah, like 38-7. That's not, bro. 38-7 early. Was it 31-7.5? 31-7. 31-7.5. At half, a man throw for 282 yards at half. Man, I ain't gonna lie to y'all, man. I ain't gonna lie. If I don't hear, this is one thing I want to lie to y'all. And this is not me. Oh, I'm about to put the link. I got you. But the link about to come up. If I don't see Dan Quinn saying somebody is fired, I'm gonna be pissed. I ain't gonna hold you.
Well, go ahead and be pissed.
I'm gonna be pissed. I know I'm gonna be pissed, but I'm just telling you.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be pissed because something got it. I gotta hear something. I don't want to hear we're gonna simplify this. Simplify that.
What he said in his press conference. I'm listening to both now. He puts it all on the players. The players. He told them
players now. Wow.
He told players that they needed that we need to step up. That what their performance today was unacceptable. We can't have that, and it totally is unacceptable, right? Let's see. This is crazy because everybody was excited about all the primetime games that the Washington Commanders had.
Tell me, Glenn.
You don't want the primetime games now because the world knows, everybody knows that this team is not the team that was there last year, right? Everybody knows that this team right here. And I know people want to go to the injuries, right? And I'm not going to go to the injuries. I won't go to injuries. I'm not going to injuries. They're professionals. If you lose, it's one thing, but there has to be a better showing. And what showed me here that there's some guys who just happy wearing the Commander's uniform and they're not really want to participate. And it shows me that the front office did not do their due diligence in bringing quality people here to be backup. You knew Marshawn Lattimore was a question mark last year, right? Because of the way he finished the season, there should have been somebody else here. All right, you knew that some of your guys, you knew that you were going into the season, you were going to have an older team. They should have been more development on Jordan McGee and other guys to play linebacker position, right? You knew that there was a situation that, nobody would have accounted for Dietrich Wise getting hurt. Again, I know he's not the savior of all, but he is a decent defensive end who was great, having a great year. Cannot account for that. You cannot account for the fact you lost some players that you should have kept. Jeremy Chin. I don't know if you fought that hard enough to keep Jeremy Chin, right? So again, those are things that the Washington team, the Washington Commanders had to look at. And he is on Adam Peters. He didn't want to spend the money on certain areas, and he could have spent the money and brought a lot of decent people in to provide depth, right?
We got folks, we're opening up the stream links. The link is in the streams in the chat. So we got Paul first.
And DC Slim, no, you don't have to be on camera, man.
You don't gotta be on camera. You don't gotta be on camera.
Yeah,
no cussing either.
Yeah,
and no cussing.
That's crazy. What's up, fellas?
Yeah, how you feeling, bro?
Oh,
I'm not feeling good. Wole, like I told you in chat, Georgia Glen, this whole season's been a total organizational failure from top to bottom.
Mm-hmm.
It started since minicamp. We've been talking about this since they started training camp.
Mm-hmm.
They haven't played good the entire year. And we kept coming on the show. Everybody kept saying, "Oh yeah, we're gonna turn it up. Yeah, this is gonna happen." No, your quarterback don't throw during the preseason. Adam Peters brings in the over the hill game with all these free agents. We did not improve from last year. Like everybody saying, we regress. And to me, it's just a total organizational failure. It's everybody's fault. I'm not blaming injuries.
Yeah.
I'm blaming everybody in the organization. Period. You did not handle success very well. You actually just went. How can you go from 12-6 to 3-14?
Yeah. Like
In
I said.
the what January? That season in the January. I'm back to talking about the draft before Thanksgiving, Wole. What it took 6 months to go back that fast.
Mm-hmm.
We can't play on primetime games anymore because we're embarrassment again.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
This is such a. It's not okay. So I want to say this like too because it's not easy to get to the Super Bowl or the NFC Championship game. So I even said like a successful season for me. And I said to even get to the playoffs, maybe win a game. I was cool with that. But the way you getting whipped on some of these games is something I like. It's like I don't know if you got a hangover from that NFC Championship game because that's where that's the only time through last year for real that I saw us get like mollywop like that.
Hey, for everybody in the chat, and I've been Wole know this number about to throw out to everybody. In 8 quarters, we've been beaten 59-14.
Crazy.
Let that sink in.
That's crazy.
59-14.
Yeah, I got my man DC Slim on here too as well. I see him in here. What's going on, my guy?
Slim.
What's up? What's up, fellas?
What's going on? What's going on, man?
Hey, check it out. First, I want to say I don't know how much they paying you, Glenn, but can I get in on the Commander's payoff? You know what I'm saying?
Come on now.
Hey, first, fellas, look, I love y'all show.
Appreciate it, man.
Appreciate it, brother.
I'm gonna keep it real. I'm gonna go ahead and throw some people under the bus immediately.
Go for it.
Okay?
Go ahead.
First and foremost, I want to destroy 106.7 The Fan and 980 for confusing all our fans and not wanting to blame coaches. Okay. So everything that we talk about on this show on a consistent basis is about parenting. Okay. If my kids act a fool in public, I gotta blame the parent. So if you telling me that I'm gonna keep getting flags, jumping off sides, not making adjustments, then that's a coaching problem. Now, I'll throw this at you. The hiring was bad from the beginning. Dan Quinn, this is the guy who blew the 24-point lead in the Super Bowl. We'll start there. All right. Secondly, Cliff Kingsbury has never been good. And I know don't nobody want to hear this, but we was bad last year, bro. All right. Now, number 5, he covered all of that bad stupidity from the coaches. We won 8 games at the last second. Okay. We beat Detroit. They had 14 players missing. Okay. So I hear a lot of people making a lot of excuses. We're good. And I don't want it. It seems like we're the only team in the world that don't have no players, ain't nobody good, ain't nobody ready. It seems like that's a tradition. We've been hearing that for centuries.
That is the truth, bro. That is the truth, though. And you ain't lying. Go ahead, though. You ain't lying about that part. Go ahead.
We got a lot of age discrimination going on over here. And this is the reason why I say you got to fire the whole staff. Because any one of them older dudes that want to keep bringing older dudes in, we're going to have a problem. Look, I'll throw this at you. Do you realize that Eckler would have still been in there today if he wouldn't have got hurt? So I just want you to let that sink in. We wouldn't have never met Bill. We wouldn't have, and look, Bobby Wagner once again played all the snaps. Luvu is getting destroyed. So once again, I'm back at coaching. And I ended with this right here. Watch this. Are you telling me that on Monday morning, we are all not sitting in a room watching a tape together of people getting roasted? Okay. And in that room, are you telling me, is it nobody saying, why is Bobby Wagner still on the field? So
Hey,
I got to go with coaching, man.
Hey, you know what? There's some stuff. I mean, obviously, you know, there's some stuff like I ain't thoroughly agreeing, but it's a lot that I do agree with you, though. I ain't gonna hold you. Like, it's a lot. There's a lot that I do because I like your evidence. I like how you back it up. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people just say stuff and don't back it up. You saying stuff that makes a lot of sense. I like the part when you said you're right though about this. To me, just like anything, when you parenting and you and somebody keep jumping off sides or they doing late hits and you still allow them to be on the football field, that's a coaching problem because you setting the tone. That's an environment thing. So I agree with that like thoroughly, man. I agree with that point is true because like Quan Martin, and I like Quan, but when Quan should after what he did last week, he shouldn't be starting.
Now, look, I disagree with you on that. How about we back to coaching again? Quan Martin, Marshawn Lattimore are great players, dog. They are being used wrong. Okay, so look, even my man number 0, he got an interception soon as he moved the cornerback. That's where he's supposed to be. Okay, so what we have is a lot of coaches who trying to get some young people to save their careers. That's why ain't nobody cooperating. I really don't think these players respect our coaching staff, to be honest with you.
You don't think so?
If you my man, I'm going all out. That's playing itself.
It wouldn't be 38-7. It wouldn't be 38. You're right. It would. Well, I'll say this much. It wouldn't be 38-14. You wouldn't get that type of work.
You never saw, as long as you saw the Jaguars, like take all the bad teams, right? You have never seen the Jaguars get blown out like this, even in their bad times. You've never seen the Colts get blown out like this in their bad times. But for some reason, you can look at the sidelines. I don't know if y'all noticed the owner was on the sideline today. Okay. Never saw that in my life. Hopefully, he let some people know that it was their last day.
hey, man, I appreciate you. Hey, go ahead, Paul. I'm about to before I let y'all.
I was about to say, go back to Slim's point. I said this a long time ago. I said these players don't want to play for Witt. I could just, like you said, you can look at other bad teams and their defense jumping around and crazy. Like that when Dallas beat us, Dallas was the lowest rated defense. They running around crazy against us. They want to play for Witt. I just got to feel they don't believe in what he's doing. Simple as that.
I mean, definitely, like if you score that easily, there is a problem. When you score that easy, they scored easy to the. That first half, they really did score easy, bro. They made Sam Darnold like Joe Montana.
The defense looked like it gave up in the first half.
Hey, y'all, I'm gonna let y'all go though.
All right, man.
Hey, I appreciate
Slim.
Appreciate you, man. Appreciate Paul.
Yo, hey, Slim, appreciate you, DC, man.
Hey, let me end y'all with this. I got one more. I got some advice for the Commanders.
Go for it.
We need 2 dudes with dreadlocks. We ain't got no dudes with dreadlocks that run fast, okay? So if we want to change this, let's go get 2 dudes with dreadlocks, man. I love the show, man. Y'all
all right, man.
All right,
I
appreciate you, Slim. Appreciate you, Paul.
Appreciate y'all, man.
All right, Joe.
Thank you.
You know, I want to talk about one thing Slim said, man. And if we all honest, I said it. I think you guys, Bob, and Dan Quinn wasn't nobody's first choice on this panel.
Yeah, he wasn't.
Right.
I think
it wasn't anybody's first choice on this panel. You know, Trini U7D said something, and I was going to say the same thing. It is about
discipline issue. Yeah,
discipline is an issue, right?
8 penalties tonight.
Discipline on, but here it is, and go back to Slim's point. The penalty issue was an issue last year, but it was covered up because we was winning football games.
Yeah, it was.
The penalty issue has been an issue under Dan Quinn's regime for the last 2 years. All right, and I blame Dan Quinn because he's the head coach, right? The head coach always takes the blame. The head coach is always the guy. It may not be him, but it's always the head coach. Let's be honest, right?
Yeah.
So the head, and I've been saying this with Ron Rivera. The head coach sets the tone of the building, right? That sets the voice. For somewhere down the line, they stopped listening to the voice of the leader. Last year, these guys was pumped. Last year, these guys was excited. I think Paul, you said it a couple weeks ago, or earlier that this team has gone Hollywood, right? Sometimes the excitement is too fast, too quick, too soon that you start believing your own hype, right?
I think that's
good. And so I think we started believing their own hype, right? And not looking at, oh man, we made it to the NFC Championship game, and we just need 1 or 2 pieces. It wasn't just 1 or 2 pieces. It was more than 1 or 2 pieces. And I think we said that last year that this team that this team's roster wasn't set yet, right?
Yeah.
That this team needed some more pieces. There were some people that this team needed to keep. I thought about today. If you still had a De'Ami Brown, right? How much better would this team be? If you still had you still kept the
Olamide.
Zacchaeus, how much? Because those guys were consistent. I mean, those 2 guys, and I know Underwood probably sleep, are better than Luke and any other backup receiver that you have right about now, right?
Yeah.
That's on this roster. And I know hindsight's 2020. I understand that as a business, and I understand people want to go get their money, right? But those 2 guys should have been. I thought more effort should have been put into trying to keep this team, to bring them back or keep the team together that you had. Because you didn't upgrade. Tell me where they upgraded at receiver. They didn't upgrade.
I mean, they got Debo. Debo's an upgrade.
Well, Debo's an upgrade, but you still could have got Debo and kept the other 2.
I agree with you. No, I totally agree. That's why I think they messed up. I think there is something to do, and this is what always a fear of it. Like, it's how you replace it, right? Like, if you're gonna replace these role players, it's how you replace them. So if you're gonna give me a role player and bring me like a stud receiver on the back end with it, a couple guys that are like reliable, then I ain't gonna argue with it. You know what I'm saying? But when you do it, you got unknown individuals. Like when you replace it, you got unknown individuals. So you got, for instance, you got Jalen Lane that you're trying to bank to be a replacement for De'Ami Brown, which has not worked. You know, no knock on Jalen Lane, but he's a rookie. You're putting him on, and like you're trying to give him a big shoe to fill. Like De'Ami's role was big for Washington because people don't understand it. His role was to take blow the roof over top and keep everything in the middle open. You know what I mean? Now, if you don't have nobody who can stretch the field, the middle is clogged. You know what I'm saying? So, and then we saw towards the end of the year how that worked out with us. The Kids was a reliable player. Now he dropped some passes and he used to frustrate the bejesus out of me, but he made big catches last year for Washington. He was definitely, and you could tell that he was a guy that they liked a lot. Then and DC Slim, I like Lane. I'm just saying, right? I'm talking about the drops and whatnot. That I'm not talking about like being used wrong. I'm thinking like it's a mental thing. Right now, he's dropping passes, fumbles, and things of that sort. I'm just talking about like ball security, to be real with you, more than actual ability.
And a lot of that's confidence. And he's
lacking confidence. Yeah, exactly. But I'm saying when you're trying to copy, if you're trying to build on what you did last year, you're putting him in a tough spot to kind of like, you know, a tough position. Then you talk about Jeremy Chin, a guy who, you know, helped this team out a lot last year. And you didn't really, I have my own ideas about what happened. I have people who's told me about why it happened with Jeremy Chin. I have my own thoughts about that. But I do think I feel like, put it like this, I feel like Jeremy Chin could have been here if they really wanted Jeremy Chin here. That's how I look at it. Or they put in the effort to really, really show him that he wanted to be like, we want you here. Let me put it that way. So you go into a season where, all right, you ain't running it back. You bringing new pieces. Like, you know what I mean? And you're just banking on having 5 out there and thinking that the 5 and Cliff's going to scheme something up and, you know, Witt going to get better or whatever. And without thinking that the other teams in the NFL, they didn't watch film, and you're now one of the marquee teams on their schedule. They know who you are now. Like, you went to the NFC Championship game. Nah, man. Like, you've been exposed, basically. You've been exposed. So you came in there thinking that it was going to be sweet in 2025. That's what, like, for real. You really thought it was going to be sweet in 2025, and it hasn't. And the Terry stuff was an issue with there's a lot of stuff, but yeah, man, this team is not the same team. I'm going back to it. George, I think DC Slim. I'm gonna speak on, like, everybody know how I feel about the D coordinator, so it's about the same anyway. But y'all know, like, I'm like, yeah, Cliff at the end of the year he can go, and if he does go, I wanted them to bring in a coach offensive coach that's going to run more of a pro style offense. That's where I'm at right now.
But where is he going? His stock is dropping.
I'm just saying I would prefer for Jayden's growth. I don't know where he will go. I'm saying I think that's what's best for Jayden's growth and development. Honestly, I don't even know if he is going. I'm being real with you, Glenn. I'm just saying like what's best for Jayden's growth and development in the long run. I think it'd be good for Cliff to kind of go somewhere
With
else.
all these big colleges that are opening up, one of these big colleges is going to talk themselves into Cliff Kingsbury. Actually, I think Auburn might be the one, honestly, that just opened up
He
today.
can go wherever, and I hope he's successful. I'm gonna go lie. He can go wherever. I hope he's successful.
Oh no! I want him to go. So
he'll be successful. You know, what
I want him to go. Get him out of here, and get somebody in here that will maximize the talent. You know, we've talked about the offensive line struggling. I think we got to have a conversation about whether Sam Cosmi came back too quick.
Was he bad? I wasn't paying attention to him. Was he bad? He
does not look anything near like what he was before the injury.
Was he getting beat? I wasn't paying attention.
Yes, he got beat a couple different times.
Okay.
And granted, it's Leonard Williams, and Leonard Williams is a hell of a player.
Yeah.
And Leonard Williams got some on Biotish too. But I just wonder if Sam Cosmi, if we really rushed him back a little bit, and then he's not where he needs to, he's not physically able to play at the level that he's capable of playing. So my issue, and a lot of what you said is correct. My issue with the whole thing with the receivers is it's hard to criticize them for not playing young players on the defense and then say, well, we should have stuck with the old guys on offense.
Mm-hmm.
And tonight we don't know because doggone Luke got hurt on the opening kickoff. So, and he's out for the game, which is just kind of sums up some of the stuff that's happened this year.
Look, man,
I thought Jalen Lane was a good pick at the time, and I was excited about Jalen Lane.
Me too. I was too.
And I don't know why all of a sudden he is fumbling like nobody's business, but he's about one fumble away from sitting for the rest of the year for me. I've kind of had it with him. And
his fumble wasn't his fumble got, and I'm gonna give him a pass, George, not to cut you off. His fumble was knocked out. It wasn't like he was. It was like he wasn't loose with the football.
It was loose. He didn't keep it high, bro. He didn't keep it high.
But he wasn't. His ball security's not great.
He
wasn't,
and he didn't keep it high either, man. That thing was like.
And y'all know I'm big on fumbles because I was the guy who said Antonio Gibson. Antonio Gibson should be gone, right? Back in the day.
I know, but
same here. Oh, and I was right.
He wasn't high in sight though, Glenn.
On that.
Glenn, your guy. I mean, I root for Lane, but that thing was not high and tight. That thing was exposed. Like he exposed the ball, man. Like the dude made a pick, but he exposed it, and it's just like, and it wasn't. I don't know, man. Like I'm rooting for that kid, but it just. No, I'm hoping. I'm rooting for him, man. I think. Look, he could be. I'm out. Hey, DC Slim, I'm not even arguing that. I believe it too. I just think right now, I put like this. I'm not the person. I'm gonna be on. I am not the person that says like, if you struggle in year one, that defines who you are as an NFL football player. You are not. I am not that person. Like here you go. There we go, Deluxe. Basically, Lane is a rookie. Rookies sometimes think too much. Thinking too much can lead to drops and fumbles. I agree. I think that it doesn't mean
Deluxe has a great point,
but it doesn't mean that Lane ain't going to be good in 2026. I believe that Lane's going to be fine in 2026. I'm just saying right now. But also, I'm gonna be real with you. The way the season's going, this is good for Lane too. Like this thing's going backwards, so Lane's gonna get a lot of. He should get a lot of experience. Because I would if this season is going the way I think it's going to go. Just put Terry on the IR now. That's not wasting any time. Put him on the IR. Don't even have him play. Let it be Lane and Debo and let him rock. And if I figure out if you want to make sure Debo plays so well that you give him an extension.
There might come a point, especially if something happens next week, where maybe he just needs to sit a game just to clear his head.
Oh, Lane,
and calm himself and reset. Because I am worried about that. About him if he gets to a point where he's slumping so bad that he kind of goes down that spiral.
No, I mean, I feel you. Go ahead, George. Go ahead.
The other thing too, and these are little things I know, but I just can't. I can't talk about how terrible this game was without talking about these things. Jonathan Jones is over there celebrating and get right before the penalty flag flies. and everybody's running down to the end zone after Mikey Sanders still gets the interceptions 31-7. Stuff like that is like you're unserious. You're not a serious outfit if you're doing stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
You're not got your head. I mean, I understand that you want to celebrate good plays even when you're losing, but honest to God, those two things right there, and I know it's little penny ante stuff, but on a night when you're getting embarrassed like that and you're getting roasted all over social media and everywhere else, that isn't gonna cut any ice with me, and it's just I think it's a wider look into just how much this team is, the attitude of this team's been wrong, and people have been saying it. Going Hollywood, feeling themselves too much, big heads after what happened last season. I think it's all true. Unfortunately, I think it's all true. And I look at that. It's like you're celebrating an interception down 31-7. And I know you're a rookie, Mikey, or second-year player, but it's like, just think about what everybody that's watching you thinks of that and thinks of you as a result, because you're representing yourself out there. Stuff like that. I don't know. It's brutal.
Also, another world 74-34 says, I watch players laughing and whatnot after the game. I'm sitting here distraught. Why? If it doesn't matter to them, I'll go ahead and sell my season tickets. I mean, that used to be my okay. You know what? I'm gonna be real with you. So covering games, I had to learn that covering games made me chill my fandom. So when I used to cover, when I used to go to the locker room and I used to see players didn't care, then it was like, oh, then why do I care so much? Like I'm done. I don't need to care anymore. Because they were all laughing, had a good time. I'm distraught for a loss, having to go to these pressers or whatever. And I'm like,
there's been a lot of that the last 20 plus years.
Yeah,
and a lot of that.
And I'm sitting there like, yeah. After I go into the locker room and people are smiling and having a good time, I'm like, yeah, I'm done with this. I don't need to be. My fandom doesn't need to be that serious. So yeah, that's hilarious. That's hilarious you say that. I literally think about that nowadays, where I don't get as distraught as I used to be watching this team. Paul says, do we even beat the Dolphins? Nah, man. I don't even know who we like. There's no. Well,
I love that you asked that for this reason.
Yeah.
I'm still alive in my eliminator pool, and I was saving Washington for that week because I thought from week one, I said that is as sure a thing as it can be. I knew Miami was going to be terrible, and I figured Washington would be good. I was so certain they were going to beat Miami, and now I'm just like, man, I don't know. I don't know if they're going to beat them because we're the get-right team. So wouldn't it be just typical for Tua to go off against us? And, Jalen Waddle goes for 125 and something like that, and they just get right against us. You can't sit here and just assume they can even beat them.
No. I mean, you can't assume. You can't, definitely the Miami game, and then you got one of your stars. I mean, who goes over to Spain with them, right? Because a lot of your stars are injured, and they're not taking the injured people because let's be honest, it is a PR move for the NFL as well, right? Mm-hmm. So you have Jayden hurt. We don't know if Terry will be back by then. I mean, what team is going to show up? You play Detroit before you even get to Miami, right?
Oh, I don't even want to think what Detroit's going to do next week.
You play Detroit.
Stunk it up against Minnesota.
Detroit stumped the place up today. So you already know what Dan Campbell's going to do to that team next week or this week, and so you know what they're going to come out. They're going to come out. They're going to come out this week to play against Washington Commanders, and so before you even get to Miami, right? You got to realize what you have to go up against in Detroit.
Worry about next week, man. Worry about next week.
Next week.
You got to worry about next week before we get to Miami, man. Because next week, this team may look totally different come Miami week anyway. Because Detroit's about to bring it.
Go ahead.
Detroit's about to bring it.
Yeah. You know what? Trade deadline's Tuesday. After this performance, at first I was like, I don't know anybody getting traded. After this performance, they may be selling for real. Some dudes really may be going for real.
And they need to.
Like, after this performance, like, I typically I was like, my mind, I was like, the only way I think Paul said the only way that they'll trade. I think somebody said, or maybe it was Taj. The only way they would trade people is if like this game, and depending on what happens this game, yeah, I think this is the game where you can almost see like, all right, we're not going to resign you, so we'll probably let you go. We'll trade you. I can see it. I can really see it. Paul said, "Are we back on the show? I mean, back to the clown show. Sorry, back to the clown show." Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It ain't gonna ever be that bad. I hope not. Heard Doc Walker, Deluxe said, I heard Doc Walker say something I strongly agree with. Often in the NFL, filled with parity, health is the difference between 11-6 and 6-11. Yeah, with parity, yeah, I can get with that. I'm also a believer in like great coaching. So I feel like certain coaches are like really good and where they just build an environment where you may not be as good as you could, like as you should be, but you cultivate an environment that you're competing at a high level in those games. So,
but how about? I mean, we just saw this in Baltimore when Lamar Jackson was gone.
Yeah, you're right.
The Ravens didn't compete.
But I'll say this though with that team though, you're right. No, you're right, 110% right. But I'll say this much about the Ravens: they weren't even really good, like defensively. They're like the bye week has helped them out too, but like for their defense, like their defense has been bad throughout with Lamar. Lamar's had it. So when Lamar not being there makes it 10 times worse. Like because you're right, their offense is prolific. Their offense and if you look at I would say this like Harbaugh, whoever they made the wrong decision putting out Cooper Rush. They should have had Tyler Huntley play, and they probably would have been better off.
They had to wait for him to get cut, right? He had to get cut.
Well, they signed him, but they did. But they had him for a couple of weeks, and they still didn't play him. They're still playing Cooper Rush.
And also, you look at
that's a bad decision then.
Yeah, but anyway, but to your point though, you're right, though, Glen. Though you're right. There is a certain level. There are players that you can't live without. I agree. Lamar is just like that. There are players, but Washington, I mean, the player that you couldn't live without for me in Washington is like Jayden. But they still look bad with or without him. That's where I'm at. Like it don't matter. It don't matter. They were getting beat 31-7 with Jayden Daniels healthy. Like that's all I'm saying. Lamar, when you mentioned like having Lamar, they can have Lamar. They're not getting beat 31-7 with Lamar Jackson at the helm. They can get beat, but not 31-7.
No,
that's crazy to me, man. That's just crazy. That can happen. We so bad. It's embarrassing. It is. Like I'm just trying to read all these things out here. Honestly, I really don't think this defense can stop a good college. Hey, I won't lie. Like I did feel like for a certain part in that first half, I don't know what they were doing schematically. I have no idea. I was watching. I was like, it's like the same thing is happening over and over again. Like I'm looking at them like.
Did anybody else bust out laughing when they had scored the one touchdown, but they made sure to show on the other side our or getting faked out?
Amos got beat. I thought it was crazy. Like Amos getting beat. That was nasty. They didn't gotta do that. They didn't have to do that. Chris Oliver.
I thought I was gonna die of laughter. Honestly, I just you couldn't help it. Like they showed that it's like, oh, they scored this touchdown, but look at what JSN did to Amos. I'm like, God, started laughing my head off.
I want to read this quick from Dan Quinn's press conference.
Please.
Question was asked. Dan Quinn was criticized for leaving Jayden Daniels in, and this was Dan Quinn's answer. We was trying to build momentum and get reps. Quinn said afterwards, "It's tough to see him go down like that. He's the heart of this team." He didn't lie there. He is the heart of this team. I think the air was sucked out of every person on this chat, everybody in that stadium. When they saw him down, I thought it was his knee because he was.
I thought it was knee. He was grabbing his knee, right?
He was grabbing his leg and grabbing his knee was moving funny. And until they saw the arm, I didn't see the arm.
It's bad.
Yeah, man. I didn't see it either until I saw the replay, which was gross.
Yeah. His elbow was his elbow.
Is that Dan Quinn,
his elbow bent away than an elbow.
Yeah, Dan Quinn said in the press conference. In the press conference, all he knows right now is his elbow. With no more information on tomorrow.
Well, at least the good thing about.
And it's not throwing arm.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. That's a good thing.
Exactly.
Well, I mean,
somebody said that in the chat. It's not his throwing arm, and it's not a knee injury.
Yeah.
Hallelujah.
So, I mean,
come back from a non-throwing shoulder being
he can
hurt.
come back not this year, because that could be like I'm talking about like in year in next year. Like he should, because that's when it's that gruesome, you don't want to. You still.
No, And I can guarantee you this. I bet you he plays more than one series in preseason next year, or he better.
You blame that? You better. I need to blame that injury on preseason, not being in preseason. Like dislocating your whole elbow.
I'm saying because he needs reps. I'm
talking
about he needs reps.
Got you.
He better play more than one damn series next year in preseason, or there'll be more hell over it than a little bit.
I have a question for you guys, right? Yeah. And the question is this: we know everybody's talking about Jayden Daniels injuries, right?
Yeah, he's been hurt a lot now. I ain't gonna hold y'all. He's been hurt a lot.
But do we get the same conversation about Joe Burrows?
Who, Joe Burrow?
No question.
Joe Burrow's been hurt a lot too. When you look at the injuries Joe Burrows has and how Joe Burrows him and Jayden are kind of in the same.
Joe Burrow got hurt. No, you're right. Rookie year.
They both hold the ball too much. Yeah, absolutely.
You're right. That's a good point. But you know what the difference is, though?
3 times tonight where you were looking at Jayden and say, throw it away. Yeah. And one time he threw it away and he almost threw a pick. And it's like,
you can say the same thing, but the only thing this difference is that that's true. That's a really good point, Glenn. The only difference is that it's gonna sound whatever, but like there's levels to this, man. Hey, there's levels to this. Joe Burrow got to a Super Bowl already. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
Joe Burrow, I mean, when healthy,
and same thing.
When he healthy, Joe Burrow is like, there is no lull with Joe Burrow. Put it that way. Let me put it. There is no Joe. Yeah, he injury prone. But I'm telling you, with Joe Burrow, there is no lull though. Like there is no struggle, Joe Burrow. If that makes any sense. There is no struggle. There's no struggle in Joe. Like there's a team oriented thing. Like we're not saying like this is different. Like, but you're right. And in terms of injury history, yes, they're the same. They're very similar, actually. Injury history, they're very similar. It's levels to this. I can't do that to Joe. It's not. Oh, we got a DC Slim. Then he had a super tap. My bad, dog. Says 7 passes to start the game with a quarterback who had. I agree.
Yes. Yeah, I push back a little bit on that.
I agree.
I'm going to push back a little bit on that slightly, DC Slim, and I'll tell you why.
Go for it.
We knew that this team was going to have to throw to set up the run. That if they tried to come out running the football, Seattle was going to be ready for that. So I didn't necessarily have a problem starting out throwing a ball that much, but here's my problem. Every pass is a short pass. Every pass is either 2 or 3 yards from the line or is lateral. And they're already cheating up because they already want to stop the run. So you had to try something deep. And I know it's hard because it was hard to protect the quarterback long enough to try it. And, you're not sure about these receivers, but you at least had to try to show that you're going to throw the ball down the field to try to stretch it out. That way, if you do that in one of those first 7 passes, maybe you have an easier time and get a little more room to move, to throw those little short passes, to throw those wide receiver screens. So I didn't necessarily hate that because I felt, and we talked about in the pregame, that they're going to have to throw to set up the run. It's just that it was very predictable, and because they're already got 8 and 9 in the box because they wanted to stop our run, none of these wide receiver screens and short passes were going to go anywhere, and that's the problem.
Agree with this too. He does. 5 puts himself in bad positions.
Absolutely.
He does. I agree. He deserves more carries too.
The
reason I agree with DC Slim is because when you Washington is really a running football team when they win football games. And that's your identity. Like we all grew up watching, the Hawks and the Redskins back then, right? When if you're a running football team, they don't go and saying you're number 3 against the run. We're not going to run the football. That's an identity. I'm not going to have somebody punk me out of my identity because they're number 3 and because they're great in running, stopping the run. No, I'm going to be like, stop. Okay, prove it. Prove it that you can stop us if you do it the way we are good at doing it. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm gonna keep saying this. You keep trying to highlight one dude and you're gonna get the same result. They stay trying to highlight one dude running the football, and we're gonna get this result. What made this team effective last year, even B-Rob, they ain't like him again, and Eckler and all them, is they moved the ball around. You got McNichols. You got I mean, you got Nichols, you got C-Rod, you got Bill. Use them all. This whole thing about just using one, like lean on them, let them feel you. But if I go in with one back all the time, it is what it is. Lean on. Stop going in with just one dude. If you want to be a run team, and Cliff always says he wants to be like how we run the football, then all right, then do it for real. Do it with that mentality. But if you're gonna run, to your point, George, if you're gonna, when you throw the football, you're gonna do all this lateral stuff. Basically, it's a substitute for your run game. But teams they hip to it. They know what you're doing. They hip to it already. So what you want? Then you gotta be like the bullies on the block. Like on the Urban Sports Team pod, Donna, we did a preview show, and Donna said a key. Donna Hopkins, Tony McGee, Pro Football Plus beat reporter for Commanders beat reporter, said this. So her key was the Commanders to be bullies. That was her key. Like, they need to be bullies tonight. They play like punks. They weren't bullies. They were punks. Yeah. They didn't want the smoke. You're right, George. You're right. And DC Slim, you're right. They avoided it. This team is the best run defense in the NFL. Okay, we're just going to throw the ball. We're going to concede because you're number one. We're just going to concede. We don't believe in our offensive line against their front. That's the message.
But that's coaching mentality. That's the coaching mentality, though.
I agree. No, Glenn. Yeah. That's my point. You're right. You're right. We're going to concede. It's similar. Real talk. It's similar of how they played a particular game where I felt like they just didn't believe that they were going to win. I want to say it was the Packers game. It's real similar to that. Like the Packers game, they played that game like.
Great point.
They played like we don't believe. We played because they weren't going for it. They played that conservative because they didn't believe in themselves. Similar. That's what it felt like to me. Translation. It's
true.
Todd, I'm with you, Todd. I was waiting for you to look, Todd. Yeah. I know you just like Cliff, but now since I'm on that band, I'm on that with you. Now I want you to let the hate come out, Todd. Let it all out because I'm with you now. So let it all out.
How much of this is
D Will, what's up, baby?
I know Cliff
or D Will.
Yeah, go ahead.
I know Cliff be calling plays. There has to be a sense where, and we had this conversation, I think pregame, and Candy said it too. Jayden calls stuff off that Cliff said, even on the broadcast. And I'm going back to the play. Even he got hurt. Was Jayden supposed to just hand that ball off? But again, that's competitive.
That was a read option play. He had the option to give him the ball or run himself. And sometimes he does that. He does the wrong read. That's a fact. You're right. You're right.
So the mentality of the team has to be set on not only on the offensive coordinator, but it has to be coming from. We know that as the report I just read from Dan Quinn, Jayden's the heartbeat of this team. The heartbeat of this team got to say, you know what, we today let's go punch this ball down their throat, right? Let's go drive the ball down the throat. Let's go see what we can get. And you have to be that. The mentality has to be all the way across, not just the OC, but it has to be the mentality of the offensive line, has to be the mentality of the quarterback and the running backs. Let's get this bad boy down, and let's see how tough they are, right? I mean, I'm not telling you keep running into brick walls, but let's see how tough they are. And
he says,
"I'll tell you what,
that's
a question. I'm glad you brought it up. I think that's a question Candy Waller needs to ask. I mean, how many times, and I don't know if Cliff will answer it. Maybe he will, and probably he should. How many times did Jayden check out of a run? To me, that's a great question because, that sort of change. Because then you got to blame Jayden in that case, if that's why we're so out of balance as it is. I mean, I'm still mad at Cliff because. You don't go to Chris Rodriguez until the game's pretty much lost already. And he was the only guy that was successful running the ball at all. That's a really difficult thing to get past, something like that. And God. I mean, we talked about it, the maximizing talent they're not using everybody that they can use. And I think that's where Cliff really falls down. And I don't, that's interesting. He had Paul bringing up Tavita Pritchard. I'd be curious to see how he would call, if he would call a game a lot differently.
That would be. I think you'll see that next year. I think he'll be the OC next year. That's my prediction. And plus, he's well versed in multiple offenses now too. He's not just it's not just this staff. He's been on multiple staffs now. So
yeah, so
he has his own identity. So I do think that I kind of think he'll be that's my guess. Could be wrong, but that's my guess. But I would say this. I mean, I wouldn't mind having somebody from the Shanty tree, but I think that would be good for him. Personally.
Mike McDaniel, if he gets fired in Miami,
I think that would be good too. I think that's a good fit. If he can just be OC, not a head coach, I'm with that. Actually, I'm actually
because one thing about the Shanahan tree, and it's such a good point. They'll do mad scientist stuff, but a lot of it's in the run game. So I'd be okay with some mad scientist running stuff.
Different years is different. Yeah, I'm in California time, y'all. Go to bed. Team, what is it? Crazy times. This is why each year is different. It is. I know. Jayden's second year. If he is making the wrong reads, who is coaching him up? What's the quarterback coach doing? Is Cliff pointing this stuff out? Hey, Taj. You really. I'm going on Cliff. But you need. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm really just disappointed, Cliff. But this energy you giving Cliff too. I need some more. I need a whole bunch of Joe Witt stuff. 31-7 is nasty work. Like how they were scoring with ease. That was easier than Madden. That was like easy in the old Madden 92. That's easy than Madden 92.
21-0 skunk and Madden, right?
Bro, like I'm talking about like 1993. I know you. Cliff deserved the smoke. Don't get it twisted. But real talk.
Arnold was 16 for 16, which that's
like 16 for 16. Yeah, I don't. That's worse than like Cliff was horrible, but what Joe Witt was doing was way worse. Like he was 16 for 16 for 282 yards in the first half. That is a great fantasy day off one half alone. That is disgusting. Like, nah, Todd, you've been going all Witt, like all Cliff on this thing, and deservingly so. No disrespect, but I need to see you put a bunch of like some energy on Witt, because that's I know you love Witt, because that is disgusting. Like that is the most super terrible. That's like the worst. Like I don't.
True.
I don't even look. I'm about to now go on my Joe Witt bash. Like I don't like now. I'm all. It's all open now. Like I don't know what you call anymore, bro. Like I don't even want to see you do pressers anymore. Like don't even do a single presser. Just stay home. No matter of fact, stay in the back. When they call your name, stay in the back. Say I'm sick. I got a stomach virus. I can't come out. Just stay in the back, man. And if they do come out there, just mute. Tell them mute your mic. Just mute that. Mute it. Mute your mic. That's all I'm saying. Crazy.
First part is all Seattle did was the same thing everybody else did. They were lining up receivers in the backfield, and they were coming out of the backfield and being as wide open as possible. Like one of the big plays is Jackson Smith-Njigba. He is lined up almost even with Sam Darnold.
Oh my God!
Runs that little loop thing. He's 20 yards.
Oh my God! That's why I knew. That's why I was so like. This is why I was saying like, Joe, what you're the worst coordinator ever. They put him in the backfield, right? And he's lined up. There's no cornerback there. There's nobody. The only person he's lined up close to is Frankie Louvu. And I'm like, yo, like, who calls defense? Like, are you serious? You at least like say timeout. Just call timeout quick.
You only get three. You only get three. You only get three of those though.
I know. No, it's the first. No, I don't care. That's too bad. That's too bad. That's like putting Louvu, who can't cover, and he's a linebacker, against Jackson. What are we doing here? I was like, yo. When I saw that, that's the play. Thank you, George. You reminded me. When I saw that play, I was like, bruh, you can't be defensive coordinator.
Hey, like, Mike McDonald did a good job. They schemed it. They saw what Washington was in, so let's do this.
Yeah, obviously.
And they realized
he's doing the same thing
everyone's
week.
doing it. Hey, is he not looking up?
or it's a receiver in the backfield.
It's not even Mike McDonald calls defense. It's his offensive coordinator calls.
But it's hard in high school too to ask a linebacker or a DN to cover a number 3 receiver,
and especially
so if you put your best receiver at number 3, you already matched him up with the linebacker because the linebackers are responsible for the number 3 receiver. Unless you do something different, right? So you got to be smart enough to know, hey, we're gonna have to switch this bad boy off or something. But again, that's a whole different scheme and whatever Joe Witt wants to do. What he reminds me of is this: that he has a set defense, and that his adjustments he can't make adjustments on the fly. Bro, and sometimes you got to make adjustments while games are going on.
Yeah,
his adjustments on the fly game is not good.
It's horrible. It's horrible. Like he's like this is what I was about to say. Like that Bama in the booth with the best view and still can't see. I'm like, you up top. You can't say, hey, that's Frankie. Why is Frankie lined up with I messed up. Like, is that what you do? Like, this dude, I ain't gonna lie. When I saw that play, I was like, yo, see, here you go. See, my man Tom. What you say? It's always a butt with Joey Hurd. I'll be honest, at this point, we know it is terrible. But I blame Steve, but I blame DQ. I get you right. You're right. For not removing him and calling and him, and I'm calling plays. Cliff out because y'all was praying he stayed. Y'all was praying to football gods for Cliff. Yeah, I like Cliff. I mean, to me, Cliff has had. I mean, I did like Cliff, but I don't think Cliff is good for the long run for Jayden's progression. I do agree. That's my point. But if you're telling me who's flat out horrible, like forget the praying God. Like Joe is flat out horrible. Like let me say this, he is flat out horrible. Like there is no good. Like there is no terrible. There's no whatever. He is flat out terrible. Like there's nothing good about him. You know what I'm saying? Like there you go. Cliff hit a peak. That's my point. He's hit a peak. Joe Wick's peak is like, what is his peak? Is it near the bottom?
There ain't no peak. Other than the playoff game in Detroit.
Yeah, exactly.
Other than the playoff game in Detroit.
Look, man,
this team has been bad.
I want to go back to something Dominic said about the team being confused because
we're right here. Got you, Dominic. Got you.
That is so true, but the fact that that's being blamed on one guy being hurt, that Will Harris being hurt. I mean, Joe Witt sitting up there during one of them press comments saying, well, Will Harris is hurt. That hurts our communication. That made me tilt.
Too much. That's too much. I know.
That made me tilt because it's like one guy being hurt should not mean that guys are running into each other, which we didn't see that tonight. We've seen that a bunch of other weeks. That shouldn't mean that people are confused as to where they're supposed to go on the snap. Mm. That's the thing that absolutely just drives. I mean, when I heard that, I just couldn't believe it because it's like then you gotta work on that. And again, what did y'all do in the preseason if you weren't working on communication? Like what the heck?
Yeah, I don't know, man. Like that's why I don't listen. I honestly ain't gonna lie to you. Anybody who pulls up the Will Harris thing, no disrespect, man. He looked all right too, but that don't fly with me. I don't listen to the Will Harris thing because I'm like, we didn't play when he got hurt. We didn't really play nobody. Like we haven't really played anybody. And then the players when he was out there, we were still we played a good offense. They were getting the defense was getting worked. Like we were still getting worked. Didn't Green Bay work us? Yes, they worked.
Oh gosh, yes.
He played in that game. He's capable. Like they're not stopping. He's not helping us stop good offenses. I mean, if y'all want to look at the Giants game again, Sierra's husband was playing. I mean, like take that for how you want to take it. I don't know. I've seen OCs win with less what we have and DC's too. I agree, Trinity. I agree with that too. Mm-hmm. I feel like it's an easy for a lot of people. But they say what we have is an easy, like in terms of talent, and what DC Slim was saying too. It's like that's the excuse that's used too much here. That's what I don't like. We use that excuse real easy here.
I want both the coordinators to face the music for one reason. I want to see if somebody other than Candy Waller can actually ask a tough question to these people, because among many of the failures that we've seen in this season, the legacy mainstream media in this town has not been nearly tough enough on these guys, and literally it's left up to Candy Waller and maybe like one other person, sometimes Donna, sometimes Nikki Jabala. Like, none of these other people are asking hard questions. So I hope the coordinators are front the media this week just to see if somebody other than Candy and maybe Donna will ask them a tough question, because it hadn't happened yet this year, it feels like.
Trinity, is it, I'm sorry, Trinity. Trend U7, yeah, Trinity. I guess I'm right. It says, do you guys think DQ holds his staff accountable? Because since week 2, the defense has shown they needed more than a talk. I don't think they do. I don't know if he do. I ain't gonna lie to you. I don't know if they keep him accountable. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not sure, because the same things keep happening. So I don't know. Todd says, I'll be honest. I mean, if I'm AP, I'm having a meeting with DQ tonight or in the morning. I get it. The season is lost, but we can't continue like this because now it's affecting our bottom line. Good point.
You're playing for draft picks.
Yeah, baby. Yeah, draft picks. The media is a joke. They love the access.
Yeah. That's part of the problem.
You know,
both sides of the ball are struggling. No complimentary football. Does that impact your thoughts on coordinators? Nah, they both trash. Right now,
they both can walk whenever they want. They can walk right out the door.
I just feel like Deluxe. I just feel like there needs to be a change. Let me put it that way. Just now, it's not. I'll say this much: it's definitely not there. There has to be a change. I don't know whatever way you want to go with it. It has to be a change.
I don't think you're gonna change this week. If you're gonna get a change, you're gonna get a
change. No. I don't think there will be a change this season. I'm talking about change throughout the. The only change on the easiest change for me would be defense, because Dan Quinn is a defensive-minded coach. So he could, in essence, if he wanted to, if he feels like he'll do anything, he could fire Joe Witt and become the DC. Like, he could do that. But I mean, if you want me to really like bang what my thoughts are, I think Witt just gets fired at the end of the season. I don't think it's an end-season fire.
Yeah, I think so. That's me too. I think it has to get
everybody
bad. Yeah. It has to get real bad in order for him to be fired in season. He's the end of the year. We don't want you to come back situation.
Yeah, exactly.
This coaching staff is not going to be still be together, right? I mean, we talk about this coaching staff. This coaching staff is going to splinter at the end of the season. Everybody came back because they had high hopes for the season.
Yeah.
So now you will see guys like Anthony Lynn may leave. You see guys like Ken Norton I don't think Ken Norton will be here next year. I think this whole coaching staff would change. Unless he gets promoted. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he's not gonna get another. He doesn't want a head coaching job, right? And
he's done. He's limited. He's like older now. That's why.
Yeah, he's old. He's older now. So we'll see who Dan Quinn wants to keep on staff. But if he doesn't relieve Joe Witt of his duties or release the duties, then there's a problem. And let's be honest, this is 2 years in. Last year, it was covered up because the offense was putting up 40 points a game.
Yeah, exactly. Man.
Right?
They were putting up points last year.
They were putting up points a game, and so that was covered. You had track meets, right? And
I would point out, Glenn, you were pretty tough on Joe Witt at the end of last year.
I was.
Even when Washington was winning, you were the first person that I knew that said, "Is the clock ticking on Joe Witt?" And I thought it was harsh at the time because it was like he doesn't have all the players that he needs yet. And I think that's looking more and more prescient every day.
Yeah, because I mean, you had a Jonathan Allen, you had a Deron Payne, you had a good defensive line. You had, for the most part, a decent secondary. And to me, some of the key players look confused. We can't use the confused excuse now because you simplified things. I'm going to use quotation marks. You told us that you simplified things, right? Mm-hmm. You told us that you simplified things. But tonight, it didn't look like it was simplified because guys was running wide open, right? Mm-hmm. And things. So, and not just tonight, last 2 weeks. And we're going to play teams who are just going to abandon a run and just start throwing the football. I mean, let's be honest. Seattle didn't really run the ball tonight.
They didn't need to.
They didn't need to. They just was like, I mean, And when I say wide open, there were guys 10, 15 yards.
Dude, it was so wide open, man.
Separation.
It was so wide open. That's what I'm saying. That's like.
So what would you do?
Like,
even if you play man, right?
To be that wide open. I know. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. That's bad. Like, you can't tell me that's not being. You can't always say somebody's confused, man. I'm sick of like. I get. Like, I feel like if every week, if every week you got somebody's confused every week.
They should be
playing. Or
it's on you.
It's on you. Yeah, it's on you. You should be playing the order. It's on you. It's either or, bro.
I want to hit this too, man.
Go ahead.
Real quick. We talk about Joe Witt. This right here is a defensive coordinator issue too. Missed tackles, right?
Juan Martin. Oh my God.
At this level, and it's every week, right? I can't remember what game. What game was it that we lost because they missed a tackle? And the dude
Bears game.
The Bears game.
And the same guy did it too. Quan Martin did it in that game too.
Yo, I blame John Madden. Everybody's trying to hit stick instead of wrap people up. Stop trying to hit stick. Wrap up, grab, and run your feet, right? I tell kids every day, impact, wrap up, run your feet. Stop trying to kill shot everybody, right?
That's true. That's true.
Kill shots is, this ain't a highlight reel. You need to get the guy down. And so what he did was try to kill shot. You ain't that big. Let's be honest, Quan. You ain't that big. You don't bring that much force.
Yeah,
you're trying to bring big dude. Yo, cut the legs out from under them. Go to the ankles. You let it. That right there, tackling is fundamental. It's matter of fact, truth be told, to be honest, and I tell our kids this: tackling is a mindset.
Yeah,
it is.
Tackling is a mindset. And there's the mindset of guys like Quan Martin, I don't want to tackle. Deion Sanders used to be able to get away with it. At least he went in there with some force and ankles. This guy, these dudes are bigger, faster, and stronger. I watched the Pittsburgh game today, and it was DK.
They tackle.
With DK Metcalf was on the 3-yard line, and the dude, it was no match for DK, but he took his legs out from under him, and they didn't score. Sometimes you got to go under. Right, so
that's a lot of times that's an actual cultural team environment. That's a cultural team. That's an environment thing too, like tackling different organizations. It's wild. Like, I don't know. I feel like we haven't been a good tackling team in like a long time, bro. I won't even lie to you. I feel like we have not been like we weren't a great tackling team last year, to be honest with you. Hence, like the big run games people used to get on this. Deluxe, would the secondary look as confused if they didn't have to cover for 4 seconds? No, they just look confused.
That's got nothing to do with it.
No, I'm just saying. I'll just say this: like in this game, they were open off the rip. Like I don't know, like it's Jackson Smith-Njigba off that play alone. He was already by himself. There's some dude. There's so many. There are plays where they don't eat. It's 1, 2, 3. These dudes are open sometimes, man. I ain't gonna lie to you, man.
The ball is coming out. The ball is coming out quick.
Yeah, and they still wide open, bro. There ain't nobody around them. It's just bad, man. It really is. It's bad. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on, man. Like Tyler Owens got beat on that play, which he got beat.
I was just happy to see him playing.
Tyler Owens. I mean, I'm like, look, if there's any like positives in the end of the tunnel, like these young dudes get to play a lot. Like they need. I want to see a lot of them out there. You want to see growth in this throughout the rest of the season. If it's going to trend this way, if like the season's going to trend this way, then that's the one thing you get kind of like, all right, I want to see people like Tyler Owens a lot more. I want to see people like like my man Jordan McGee. We're getting to see a lot of them, but even more. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, I just thought about this, and this is not gonna happen. It's funny. Yo, this team, DC, the people in DC wish they had waited to approve the new stadium come to DC, because right at this point, nobody's gonna watch this team come play.
Where is that at? Somebody put that out there?
What?
Oh, was that out there? Oh, you said
no. I'm just saying myself, right?
Okay.
DC approved the new stadium, right? They already going to build a new stadium. If this team continue, based off of one season, let's be honest, based off the hyping of one season, you're about to spend a lot of money to build a new stadium for a team that may not be able to, unless things change around and turn around.
We got plenty of time before that new stadium's built.
Yeah, we got right. You got time. But the thing is, you got to start making traction now. We talked about regression, right? The fan base is going to start regressing in a minute. In a minute,
it already has though.
Right? Shoot, those Christmas Day game tickets is about to go on sale for cheap for the low.
Well, yeah, there'll be a lot of Cowboys fans
so
invading the building. I'm afraid. Yuck. I want to. Trent was asking about the coach and the GM. And here's what I want to say. I think a GM needs 4 years. I think a GM needs 4 off seasons and 4 drafts, and you can judge him at the end. And if his team hadn't got the job done, if the roster isn't in a place where you feel like they're ready to consistently win at the end of the 4 years, then you can think about making a change there. Mm-hmm. With DQ, I think firing him at the end of this year, I wouldn't do it because year one, you had such a great year. I think the only scenario where I would consider firing DQ at the end of the year is if he says, I want to keep the same coordinators. I think that's the conversation Adam Peters has to have with him when this season is over. If there's nothing that happens with Joe Witt tonight, we don't know if there is or not. Adam Peters has got to go to DQ when the season is over and say, look, I know Joe Witt's your guy. Joe Witt's got to go. If Dan Quinn pushes back and he says, if you don't fire him, then I'm firing both of you. Because that has happened quite a bit in the NFL. And coaches have clashed with GMs over the construction of the staff all the time. I feel bad because I felt like last year everybody was so aligned that it looked like the AP and DQ thing was a perfect fit. But now I think there's a real question. I think there's a real question about whether DQ is one of these guys that might get one. You might get 1 or 2 good years out of him, and that's it. And it's just, I'm concerned. I'm really concerned.
George, I mean, I think we got to give him a minute because again, last year, I don't want to say last year was hype or last year was a fluke, but you got to allow them to get their players in, right?
No,
because
absolutely.
this is only year 2. Year 2, you had injuries. Year 2, you saw guys not perform to their level. Now you know your issue in the offseason. So a lot of this stuff is fixable, right? It's not like it's the a lot of this stuff is fixable. So now the question is how you'll fix it because you're gonna have to bring a lot of guys in. I think we talked about this too. A lot of guys on 1-year contracts. So you looking at now, okay, it's not gonna work out. Who are we letting go? We talked about last year's team, and this team is gonna be totally different. This team that you have this year to the team that you're gonna have next year is gonna be totally different. Right? So you're likely to have, if things don't turn around, you're drafting between 9 and 10 in the draft.
If Jay's how you been lower than that, man. Who knows?
Yeah, low. Because let's be honest, you still got the Eagles twice.
Man. You got Detroit. You got Detroit, the Eagles. You got some good teams, man. You got the Broncos too. You got the Broncos. You got some good teams, man.
Got some good teams there. So you're drafting somewhere. Like, okay, y'all try to say 5 and 6. I ain't gonna try to go that low.
We can. No, don't get to like the. We're not like we're gonna have to play the Cowboys. I don't know, like what they did to us with it can get ugly.
And then you got free agency. The question is, if you're 3 and let's say worst case scenario, 3 and 14, right? Worst case scenario. Are the same people that want to come when you were 12 and 5 still want to come to Washington?
Oh, I think so. I think they could like Jayden. I think Jayden's a likable person. I think he's the one. But I don't think it's not overpay. Yeah, gonna make slightly overpay, and it won't be like it was. It won't be like it was going into this season. I agree with that, but I do think that there's a Jayden effect. Taj, I like Taj has a comment. I think it's which I think is pretty good. So I think there will be a sacrificial lamb this week. 3 reasons. 1, it was Art Monk's jersey retirement, which is trash to have this type of performance on Art Monk Day. Like it's trash. I'm not gonna lie to you. That's a whole different. That's a reason why I'm annoyed too. Another national game, true, and coach's stupidity could jeopardize Josh's number 1 asset. Very good. These are all good points.
All good points.
All good points. I'm gonna see what Magic is saying.
Oh yeah, Magic would probably. Magic only know about winning, but Magic a minority owner. I think Magic it is what it is. I love Magic.
No, I think Magic's important though. I mean,
no, he is. There to an element. You're right. Go ahead, George. Go ahead.
And I just want to say this: if we're picking high, you can trade out once, maybe even twice, and you can get a lot of draft choices that can help you, not just in 2026, but in 2027. And for me, Adam knows that. He's been very adept at doing that. He's been very adept at trading back. He's been very adept in the middle of the draft and getting players. Yes, we're frustrated with the roster construction. Yes, some of these draft picks of his hasn't worked out, but he needs to cook in the draft next year. And he's going to have to overpay to get some free agents in here. We've got the cap space to do that. It'll be interesting to see how much he uses it this coming off season. But the draft has to be the main event for this team next year, and we have to absolutely smash it.
I mean, I'm about trading back, but this is what I want to do. I want to do what I wanted to do in this draft. They didn't do it. Please pick the best available player. That's all I care about. This team needs more.
The shopping list is so long that
just pick the best available player.
Yeah,
like a real game changer, not a guy because you think he fits a game changer. And that a game changer could be a tackle or whatever it could be, but a game changer, somebody that they got to account for, rather than being anything other than that. I want the best available player. Period. Caleb Downs out of Ohio State. That's the pass rusher, I believe. Yeah.
I think he's a safety. I thought
Caleb Downs. You sure?
I don't know.
Nah,
I'm not sure about that.
I think it's pass rusher.
A lot of people talking about Arvell Reese, who I think is also Ohio State.
He's safety. No, you're right. He's safety. He's a safety. Sorry, he's a safety.
Yeah. I mean, look, the shopping list is long.
Safety. You're right. It's a safety.
Safety, edge rusher, wide receiver, center.
Wow. Yeah.
Linebacker.
Edge rusher.
Defensive. We already said edge rusher, corner. I mean, again, about the only things I think that we don't need to draft are quarterback, wide receiver, and punter.
We need a quarterback.
Everything else is needed.
We need to draft a quarterback. You need a wide receiver. You said wide receiver, right? Draft the wide receiver. We need to draft the wide receiver.
Oh, absolutely. Draft a wide receiver. I'm saying about the only things we don't need to draft are quarterback, running back, and punter.
Oh, you think you only need to draft the running back? Why don't they want to draft the running back? We don't need to draft the running back.
Because if the new offensive coordinator sticks with the committee, then I feel like we could have a pretty good situation at running back. And look, if we do draft a running back, that can be a day 2 or day 3 thing again. I'm not
saying number 1. I don't think it should be number 1. I don't think it's number 1.
Oh no! I don't understand it. Like running back is way down the list compared to all this other stuff.
Oh, I like this one. Here you go. Question from Taj. If you had a chance to hire Joe Brady, Flores, or Kubiak, do you pull the trigger on fire? Oh, as a head coach? Nah, I'm not.
No. I take Flores as the defensive coordinator.
Oh man, Flores is a defensive coordinator in the second.
I mean, Flores deserves another chance to be a head coach. My only only question with him is
he's blackballed.
Is he too blunt? Is he too blunt and brusque
for this team
to work with Adam Peters? Like, is he the kind of guy that's going to tell Adam Peters, "I think this is BS, and I think you're doing wrong"? Is he going to clash with him?
That's a good point.
I don't think Flores get another head coaching job. I'm sorry. It's just I think the NFL is sour.
They're gonna blackball him. Because of the lawsuit. I think it's gonna be hard for me.
Being $1 million coordinator is the best gig in sports. I don't know why anybody would want to not do that.
You're right though. You do get it's a good gig though. You're right, George. If you do right, you're right. Best available playmaker on either side of the ball, and we must get younger and free agent. The average start. Yeah, I agree. I agree with all this.
Hey, D. Will, man, a good question for you. I know you're typing. You was at the game tonight, man. How was the atmosphere out there? With everything that was going on. Oh, just for the chat.
He was at the game.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I know he was at the game.
He said it's the most depressed he has been walking out of there. It's like. Yeah, I can understand that.
Because it's true. Yeah, I mean, I'll be telling folks, man, this team will Oh, she sent me a link. Oh yeah, I'll send you a link here.
I mean, D.
Y'all ain't gonna have me out here all night, though. I gotta sleep. I hope you know that.
I'm the same way, but I want to. D. Will, you're right. But the fact of the matter is, Flores told people
links in the chat.
the reason he got fired in Miami is that he did not tolerate anybody's BS.
Yeah, he didn't.
And he was not a politician. He says it as it is. And unfortunately in the NFL, there's a lot of people that can't put up with guys like that, even if they're really good at their jobs. And as a defensive coordinator, he has almost no parallel. And as a head coach, he wasn't bad either, in my opinion.
No, he's great as a head coach. If you see his record, his winning percentage, it's really good.
Yeah, I mean, to win 6 games with that first team he had, which was an XFL roster, was remarkable.
I mean, his team was over 500 a bunch of times. Like how many years he coached in the league? How many?
I want to say he did. Did he get 4 or did he get 3? Because I know they had a 10-win season where they missed the playoffs.
Oh, right. Yeah, I remember that one.
Here's the other question I have for you guys: do we ban 50 Cent for coming to football games now?
Yes.
He can come.
I'm just joking.
Ain't 50's fault.
He could be out there, man. He could be out there, man. 50 could be out there. There's other folks I want to ban. He ain't one of them. You know what I'm saying? He ain't one of the people I want to ban. Are we at Deluxe in the building? I think I heard it. Yeah, here you go. I gotta sleep, man. You trying to keep me up? What's up, Deluxe? I'm just Deluxe. D. Will, you know I'm tired. That's what I'm saying. You know I'm tired. I'm calling you Deluxe. What's up, D. Will?
Listen, man, I'm tired too. Most definitely. But let me tell you, man, y'all know I don't really go to games a whole lot. I like to be at the crib and watch the game. Yeah. So I got an offer to come to this game through a good friend of mine who has amazing seats. So I said, I'm gonna pull up. And from the minute I got there, the energy was so high, man. I don't know if it could be felt through the TV. It was a lot of energy. Everybody was excited for the jerseys. They were excited for the retirement of the jersey, and you could feel it. And then instantly, like the air just got sucked out of the building, and it just felt like we just was unprepared, and it just felt like something was missing. And I said it once they scored twice. I was like, here we go, starting in the 2-touchdown hole, like we have done previous. And shout out to Jayden because he definitely was trying to gut his way through and fight through it. But we just looked underprepared. You would have thought the Seattle Seahawks was at 85 Bears. We had no bearings, man. We couldn't get it together. And I say this, man, y'all know me, I'm vocal, but I'm pretty chill. Yeah. But watching Jayden go down and the complete, it was just a lack of leadership, man. You got to save that guy from himself, bro. Like Jayden will play in a 100-0 game. If there's a shot, if there's time on the clock, Jayden wants to play. But at some point, leadership has to step in like, hey, guys, this is not going to get it done tonight. Let's revamp, let's retool and get back next week. You got to save him from himself. And that's the only thing that I said. And they could hear me because I was very close to the field. I'm like, it's down 31. There's nothing to gain here. He shouldn't even have been on the field. He shouldn't have been playing. The game was out of hand and out of reach. And I get it. You want to play. You want to get reps. You want to get all that. But to George's point, if we want to talk about reps, then everybody need to be playing preseason. We want to talk about reps. Guys need to be getting it. Guys need to be on the field as much as they can, and they need to do that. I don't want to hear nothing about reps when you're down 31 points. It's nothing to gain from this. And all you did was just risk the future of the franchise. Tonight, luckily it's a non-throwing injury on the elbow. One of my photographers were down there, and he showed me the picture. Dislocated elbow.
Yeah. It takes blood too, though. Blood.
Yeah, I mean, I knew instantly. I didn't think it was knee or ankle, but I saw him the way that he got up, and I was like, man, it's the thing. And then let me tell you something. When the cart came out, man, I about lost my mind because I just everything in me. And guys, y'all know this, man. Y'all have experienced football on a high level. Y'all coach. Some of y'all coach. Like when you're coaching, there's so many aspects that you have to control, and you have to keep guys safe. You have to keep guys out of their own way.
Yes.
And it just seems like over the past few weeks, not just from Dan Quinn, but it trickles down. It's just that we just haven't looked prepared. We've been getting out coached. Joe Witt, I mean, I wanted to get him, man, as much props as I could when he first got here, but he's declined on a weekly basis since last year.
Yeah.
And y'all, I overheard y'all mention something about the coaching staff. How everything stayed intact last year. They definitely was in a run it back mode. They was like, look, we can run it back with what we got. And it showed up because we got the oldest roster in the league. Injuries came through like a thief in the night and tore us down. And now look what you're left with. You're left with bare bones roster. You back from square one. At this point, like I told y'all before, if Ben Simmons is not playing, cut him. Because I mean, you need to figure out if
What
you're
are you?
3-6.
Yeah.
You're 3-6. You any guys that's young on the roster, you need to play them and see what they got because you are in rebuild for 2026 mode right now. Adam Peters has a lot of work to do. He has to flip this roster again. I would say after player number 16, like 1 through 16 is pretty much locked up. But after that, it's gotta be a whole new roster. It's gotta be a whole new slew of guys to come in. You have to get you have to get young, you have to be creative with your draft picks, and you gotta build this thing right. I think, I'll say this and I'll be done. What happened last year, and I mentioned this earlier, our success covered up a lot of things that would have normally been done a different way. But we were successful last year. The ball bounced our way, and we were able to say, hey, let's just see if we can do it back right now. But this year, you have Jayden's second year, injuries come in. Now you got to revamp and start the whole process. I would have been more apt if they just started the process in the offseason last year and not necessarily try to build off what they had because, I mean, you're trying to piecemeal it together. But I said a whole bunch. I said a lot. I already talked to Mike because Wednesday show is going to be ridiculous. I have so much to say, and I'm not even going to say it nowhere else until then because
Good. You got to hold it.
I'm gonna be talking
that's
from
right.
3 to 5 on ESPN 630 on the line change. But I had to come and check in with y'all, man, because y'all my boys. And
Appreciate
Yes,
you,
sir.
man.
I had
Appreciate
to
you,
pull
bro.
up on
We
y'all, man.
appreciate you, D.
Everything you
Will.
said everything you said is factual, my guy. Everything you said is factual.
Hey, yo, you can tell D was ready for bed, man. D
Oh,
was
I am too. 'Cause I'm not even rebuttal. I am too. I mean, he's not.
Bro, I came home, I hopped in the shower, I threw the t-shirt on, I was like, I shut it down. But I'll say this, man, it's not even I'm not even sleepy right now. Like I'm more or less I'm in
Angry.
because this is the coach that part too, but this is the coach in me.
Yeah.
What are you going to do to continue to rally your guys? What are you going to do to continue to galvanize his fan base? Because everybody's dejected, everybody feels a certain way. But as a coach, this is where you find out who your leaders are. This is where you step up and say, how can we right the ship? Because Dan Quinn has got away with it for a while. He's got away with it. Now he has to coach. He has to lead because keep playing what we got. It's just not working. So you have to do something different, and you got to see what you have because it's clearly lost. Go ahead, Glen. I'm sorry.
D-Will, before we let you go, I know you got to run. And I ask you guys on the panel and the guys in the chat, which injury is more gruesome? Is it Joe Theismann or is it the Jayden Daniels?
Oh, Joe Theismann.
Joe T.
Joe
man.
Theismann was like,
Which one's gonna have a greater impact on this team? Had a good impact.
It's Joe Theismann because you can never be the same. But because Jayden will be fine. It's just not. He'll be fine.
yeah.
Down the road.
But even with this, guys, I feel like you have to slow walk this. You can't rush him. You can't.
That's
you
right.
know, you got to make sure he's ready to go because what you've seen in this year alone is that guys have to be ready and you cannot rush them back because we literally had Jayden like every other week. It's like he's back. Okay, now he's hurt again. Now he's back. Like, let him rest. Let him get fully healthy. See what you got with your underneath players, and really, you're gonna have to rebuild and have to start from scratch. But one thing, you don't have to worry about your quarterback. He's gonna be there. He is the guy for the future. But everybody after that is in question, in my opinion. And this is where you got to put your big boy pants on to figure it out, man.
Yeah, they better figure it out because like I don't got time for this crowd.
And and look, man, I'm upset because I'm going to Minnesota, and I'm like, why am I going to Minnesota?
Why you going to Minnesota? you going to the Minnesota game?
Yeah, man, because that's my birthday, so that's my 40th. So wifey was like, "What you want to do?" I was like, "I want to go to Minnesota and see my team in Paisley Park."
That's so nice.
Why are you doing?
That's so nice.
Hey, man,
that's so nice.
Listen, I'm still excited to go to Minnesota. The ticket, everything is already booked and paid for, so I'm going to Minnesota.
All right,
I hope you.
All of America time.
I hope,
man.
That's what's up, man. I hope you enjoy like the whole sights of Minnesota.
I will. It's a city I've never been to,
Yeah.
man. So I'm gonna go and enjoy myself, and I'm gonna still chill out, man, because I love my guys. And one thing I will say before I get out of here, like on the sideline, man, those dudes do be locked in, man. I sat right behind the offensive line, and I just love those guys, even though they got work tonight, but they're still a good unit, and there's still some good pieces to this squad, man. It just didn't come together like it did last year, and I say this, and I'm done. The same way the pendulum swings, bro. Like last year, it swung our way, and now it's just swinging back down, and it's the wrong stuff. So it's like this is part of it, man. The ebbs and flows of football. You see it on a week basis.
Yeah.
It's just not our turn right now, and I have to be okay with that because I've been a fan for all my life, and I've seen a lot worse times and good times. So I'm here for the long haul, baby. You know we good.
Paul said visit Paisley Park.
Oh,
That's what
the
Paul
tickets
said.
are already booked, man. Paisley Park. I'm going to the Mall of America. All that's done. I read that Minnesota has some of the best steakhouses out there. So I'm gonna go get me some good food. I'm gonna enjoy my time, bro.
So as a wrestling fan, Mall of America, home of the first Monday Night Nitro in Lex Luger.
I remember that one.
I'm gonna put on some black pants and a ruffled white shirt and go out there, just stand next to the apron and look around. Is that Lex Luger? The Narcissus? Is that Lex Luger?
That is wild. That is hilarious.
Hey, boys, man, listen, man, continue to do what y'all do, man. Y'all have been my therapy session for the whole evening, man. You know how much I love you guys.
Yeah.
And, you know, I will get up with y'all this week, man.
Appreciate you.
Appreciate you.
Appreciate you, D. Will.
Absolutely, man. Y'all be blessed.
Hey, keep doing great work, my guy.
Hey, thank you. Every Wednesday, ESPN 6:30, the line change, man. Y'all make sure y'all lock in, man. Me and Mike Callow, baby, we here.
Pull up.
Peace.
All right,
yes, sir.
All right.
I want to point something out because this just came across Twitter. This is Nikki Javala on Twitter about 20 minutes ago, 25 minutes ago. Dan Quinn on the troubles of this team. It's performance related, not cultural related. And Dan, it's never good when you sound like Bruce Allen. And that is uncomfortably close to sounding like Bruce Allen. Don't tell me about a culture when your team is 3-6. Don't sit here and try throwing that mess against the wall and seeing if it sticks. Because to me, that's a disturbing thing to say.
I mean, it's all coach talk.
It ain't just performance related. It's everything when you're 3-6.
I mean, I think it's all coach talk. I do think
he's challenging his players, man. It's performance based.
I mean, I'm gonna say this, man, for real. It's definitely performance based. It's definitely. I mean, you gotta look at yourself. You know what I'm saying? You just gotta look at yourself. I feel like what I need to see, I ain't gonna lie, it's not after the game. I need to, because I think after the game, people start to say whatever. I need to see once you have the time to look at the film, talk to your people. I want to know what happens tomorrow. Like, that's where I'm at. Like, I want to know what happens Monday. Because Monday is when you really assess what time it is. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, like I get you. Yeah, like a lot of this stuff is real reminiscent of like the old regimes and stuff.
Yes, it is. There's been way too much of that.
It's just like we all got we got PTSD. You know what I'm saying? So anytime we get in this type of, like, we're back to getting blown out on prime time again. You know what I mean? Like, that's not a good feeling. You know, and that it's the way you get beat, man. I'm like, when we was getting beat 31-7 at half, I was starting to think about the Eagles, Michael Vick versus
that came to my mind too.
Company. I was like, this is bad. Like, this was the worst. I ain't gonna lie, this may have been like the worst since that game. I mean, we've had some bad ones, though. Maybe I'm exaggerating, but this one was bad. Like 30, it's up there, man. Like, this one was really bad.
I turned that game off as soon as Jeremy Maclin got a touchdown because it put me over the top in fantasy. I turned the game off as soon as that happened.
Is he talking?
And spared myself the rest of it. I think Paul. I think he's talking about everything. When he says that this is not a cultural issue, but a performance issue. But it is, to me, that is the wrong note to sound.
I will say, because I like
you can.
Go ahead. Finish.
You can throw players under the bus and say we're not executing and all that, but when your team plays with so little energy, when they do so many basic things wrong, you at least have to accept because I've heard a lot of whatever you think of Belichick and some of the things he does or says, what's one of the first things he'd say when they would get beat or blown out? It's like, we got to coach better.
Yeah. That's true.
He'd say we got to play better. He'd also say we got to coach better.
Nah, you're right. He said we got to coach better. Bill would always say that, and then he'll just bench that player, but he'll say we got to coach. He won't do that. He'll bench a player in a second. Bill will bench you too. But you're right though.
Yeah.
He'll say we got to coach better though. That's the thing. In front of the media, yeah, Georgia is so right. But you know who would say that too? I might even use Bill. You know who would say that too?
Who?
The great Joe Jackson Gibbs.
That's exactly right.
He would always say we got to coach better. We got to coach better.
You're absolutely
he always
right.
say, even when it wasn't his fault, he would say we got to coach better. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like, he would put it on him.
That statement is hard to swallow.
Yeah, I will say this though about that, like, because I like Dan Quinn, but I like him. I do like Dan Quinn. I mean, he's a better hire than I thought he would be initially. I do like his spirit. But I will say this though, he is fighting with DC Slim talking about. He is the same dude on the Atlanta team with Kyle. That blew like that Super Bowl when he does have baggage.
Mm-hmm.
Like not like it is some baggage where it's
it's not even that. It's the fact that after Kyle went, his replacement was Steve Sarkisian.
Yeah.
Pugh, and then things went down the toilet and he was out of a job 4 years later.
Yeah, but that too. But it's more. I agree with that too. But it's more like he has to like prove himself. Like there is something he has to like. So yeah, I just think that he has a lot to kind of. He's not goated into like being like, okay, we just trust Dan Quinn, right? That's not that type of situation because he's a guy that we've seen. Yeah, he's turned some things around. But also on the flip side, things can go left pretty quickly, though, right? Yep. We've seen that him in other places. So I think he has a lot on his shoulders too. Like he's trying to deflect because there's a fear of that happening here, in my opinion. Kind of think that's for him. And that's why he's kind of like, because everything was kumbaya last year. You know what I mean? Everybody was all
winning cures everything.
Yeah. And now when it's how you respond to adversity. You know what I'm saying? So this is going to actually, I'm going to be real with you. This is going to be a telling time for him too. At this juncture, this part of the season is going to be a telling time. You know, because this is why I love Joe Gibbs so much. I love Joe Gibbs a lot. It's like I call him like Joe is like my coach in Jesus. But the reason why I love him so much is that everybody keeps talking about like Washington always under Joe Gibbs, they would always have to run the table. But you know how special you had to be to do that though? Like that means the people had to ride with you. They had to believe in you. They believed in Coach Gibbs. You know what I'm saying? Or they believed in that like in the team in general. But they definitely did. Like when Joe Gibbs, they needed that those games, they needed a 5-game winning streak or whatever to get into the postseason. Like
you knew how to rally them in.
Yeah, you know how to rally. Like during adversity, you knew that he wouldn't go into the corner. Like you knew that, all right, Joe going to keep it the same. He's going to be tough and he's going to be right there. He's not going to falter. Like he's going to go forward. Win, lose, or draw, he's going to go forward. He's going to give you his best.
And those guys were going to rally for him because they played for him. They believed in him. They believed in who he was. Great and point. They believed him and they believed him as a coach. And I think that's where I'm not saying Dan Quinn is losing those guys, but he's starting to lose those guys.
Yeah, if it goes like this, I mean, it's natural. This is the thing. If it continues to go like this, and you don't have, this is the thing, not to be funny, but if it continues to go like this, and it ain't like you got like a Super Bowl resume to fall back on, people can be like, all right, he's done it, but he's done this, so we good. We still gonna believe in him because he's a Super Bowl winning coach, or he's one of them. Like there's something you can fall back on. Like, but if you don't got nothing to fall, player, it's easy to players to like be like, all right, Dan, I ain't listening to that stuff, man. We getting our butts whipped. We ain't competing. Then it's like, they're gonna look at you a certain way. I'm not saying that's happening, but you know what I mean. Like, it's easy to be.
We'll have a pretty good indication next week because if Detroit comes in there and stomps a mud hole in them and walks it dry, then what are we gonna be saying?
Detroit has opportunity.
That might be all the proof that you need at that point.
Detroit has the opportunity to put a lot of points on the board.
If I ain't gonna lie, Seattle can score like this, dog. And Seattle is a good team. If they can score like this, like how they did that.
Seattle put what was it, 24 points in the second quarter tonight?
Yes.
I guess it was. Yeah, that's right. Because it was 7-0 at the end of the first quarter.
If Seattle can score 31 against us, dog.
Yeah.
Detroit got like a running game, and they got receivers, dog. And they get
and a tight end.
And they got a tight end, George. Yes, I would say tight.
And they're coming off a loss.
So. And they're coming off a loss because of the great JJ McCarthy.
I watched that game was on down here. They were terrible.
They
lost absolutely horrible today.
They lost to the great JJ McCarthy.
No.
Yeah, I know. What you're trying to do.
Cooking though.
Yeah, I know.
I gotta give him his flowers. He was cooking today.
Real quick, the way that it looks now, unless something happens, the Eagles is going to break the streak because there will be a team that win the NFC East 2 years in a row.
No, you can hand them the division right now.
Yeah, you can hand them.
They're not losing. They're not going to lose more than 4 or 5 games. There ain't nobody else in this division winning 12.
Yeah, I know, Paul. Man, they might put 50 on this dog. This is going.
And you know what? But that's the thing. If that's what happens,
yeah.
If that's what happens, then we know
what happened with this
team. That he's lost this team, and that they've checked out. We will know it if that's what happens next Sunday.
If they do, I ain't gonna lie to you. Like, say they keep it this week, I won't even lie to you. If they, all right, say there's no changes after this game, which is possible, and which is it's highly possible. Right. If they give, I won't lie to you though. If they do give up 50 against Detroit, real talk, Joe Witt's definitely getting fired.
Definitely.
I know I said the end of the season, but he gave up 50 after this.
He won't make it.
He won't make it.
He won't make the trip overseas.
Nah, he won't make the trip overseas. That I can guarantee that. Like, I feel confident in saying that too. Like, I do feel confident with. Like, if there's not a change now, which I doubt there will be. Yeah, we're not. Yeah.
No, not at all.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, we gotta close this show out, man. We've been here for like
2 hours. Yeah.
2 hours. This is like, come on. It's a Monday now. It's Monday now. What are we doing?
Hey,
here?
But we appreciate y'all for rocking with us though.
I know we do.
Yeah, we do.
And you guys are strong too. I can tell y'all, man, because we got a bunch of y'all on, and it's like freaking through. Like it's 1:33. I don't know where y'all are at. Some of y'all on the West Coast, so y'all have like really good time. Like y'all good. Like I don't know. Like y'all good.
It's
like it's
1:33 here, and I got a dental appointment in 6.5 hours.
See, look, man. I don't know what. Look, I'm messing George up, man. Y'all terrible. You all are terrible. Not me. I'm okay. I'm on furlough. I can stay if I want to, but I'm not. I'm going to sleep. I'm sorry. I'm going to sleep. I'm going to sleep anyway. But y'all, man, we appreciate y'all being on with us, man. During this depressing loss. We really thought our team would be competitive today. I won't lie. Oh man, thank you. Oh man, thank you, DC.
Cheers, DC. Appreciate you so much.
God, appreciate you, guys. At this point, do we really have the horses? Great show. I don't even know what we got. Man.
No, I don't know what we have right now. We got a hodgepodge,
man. A hodgepodge. We got. I don't know what we got, man. We got trash though. We got some good trash.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. We'll see you tomorrow. Yeah.
We'll keep you updated on Jayden's injury, man. We can't even think we might pop on. I might pop on.
Yeah, we might just that'd be cool too. And if we get a trade move too, we may pop on for real. Yeah, I'm cool with doing like, you know what I'm saying? Like we can do something with that too. But yeah, y'all, man, appreciate y'all for pulling up. Again, I feel sorry. I want to apologize for the Commanders and half the Commanders of what they put out there for you, y'all. Because it's trash. It was disgusting. It was nasty. It was nasty work. It really was nasty work.
It is.
But anyway, man, appreciate y'all pulling up. We're gonna have some stuff this week. Y'all already know. Probably Thursday, we'll definitely have a show. Yeah, hopefully there is a trade and we can like talk about it.
Yeah. Or as Paul said, firing.
Yeah, there's a firing. We can do something real quick. Oh, there's a firing. Oh, yeah, if there's a firing on Monday, we're doing something.
Yeah, definitely.
If there's a firing, we're doing something. Definitely. Quickly. Like
right.
All right. Anyway, you've been listening to All Burgundy and Go Errrything, powered by the Urban Sports Scene and Fox Sports Radio, 96.9 FM and 1340 AM. Hopewell, Virginia. For ages. Ayedic. Deuces. We are out. Peace.